Welcome to the Nomad Network, your first stop for complete and comprehensive Chicago Bears football coverage. Dive deep into analyses, updates, and all things Bears. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss a beat. Thank you in advance for your support. We promise to bring you the best because together we're unstoppable. Go Bears.
Yo, no maniacs. Welcome into another edition of Some Extra Sauce. This is a special one because we got to knock all the bells and whistles that we do normally on the show for another time this week, just because we got so many drive picks and so many UDFAs to cover. It's only right that we spend the show doing that. So this is going to be another special edition of Some Extra Sauce. Plus, we got the chef in the kitchen. We got to give him some love too, man. We always got a chef once a month at the end of each month. He's about to show us some love here in a few minutes. I got an idea what he's going to be cooking, and I don't think I ate enough tonight. We be quite honest with you, but welcome on in, you guys. We about to kick it hard on the Bears tonight, real hard, and you're going to get your money's worth if you came here for that particular part of the show, for sure. But again, this is a special one tonight. We're going to do this in a certain way because there's so many players to talk about. It's like 19, 20, 18 to 20 breakdowns to do. Plus, we got a chef again. But, man, we're going to have a good time doing it. Buckle up, and we're going to enjoy some Chicago Bears and some food tonight, man. I'm going to kick it on over here to my right, pass it on over to Canuck for an alley-oop and see if he ate too much and can dunk.
I ain't dunking anything but a donut tonight. That being said, I made sure to eat good because I knew the chef was coming. So I had a nice little salad action, some chicken schnitzel. It was actually well put together. What's not saying? Oh, he's talking about the Habs. Yeah, the Habs and the Blackhawks are like that goes back for many moons, man. And being a semi or an old Habs fan, I'm well aware. It's one of the reasons why I have mad respect for the Blackhawks, man. I really do. Blackhawks.
Hey, I made a mistake. I meant to get with you over that draft weekend to see if you wanted to come through. I was so effing busy trying to make sure I got all the breakdowns that I needed done. I missed out on giving you an invite. If you want to come on the show anytime in the near future, you and Smitty has been adamant about getting on the show.
I got to get Pretty Q up in here, man. It's true, eh? We got to get him on.
Got to get him in here. Got to get Terrence back in here. We got to. I think Smitty will be his first one. What did this be like? Naj's third or fourth?
Yeah,
third or fourth trip. So we're gonna try to take care of that, man. If you want to get in here, man, just send me an email. Gonna get it set up for you, man. I would love to see you, man. Kick it a little bit, man. But Liberty's Outlook is in here along with Naj. I tell you what, kids, man, because we got so much to do tonight, especially this football stuff.
Let's get it going.
How's been life? This real quick. How's your life been treating you?
Life's straight, man. No, nothing. Nothing too different than last week, other than we've got a whole bunch of new drafted players, and we still don't have an edge rusher. So there's that.
Oh Lord, that's in your bones right now, ain't it?
I think it's in everybody's bones except for like those who don't want it to be in their bones. So
I tell you what, if you are part of the family here, and this is you, but for the people that's on the outside looking in, I'm gonna do my damn well best to make people understand some things tonight about that draft and why they may or may not have chosen to get that particular edge rusher everybody's looking for. I got my reasons, but we'll get to that in a little bit. I'll tell you something interesting about my life this week. My girlfriend, number one, she pissed me off about not the chicken stuff that happened, but
I was like, did you get her with the ribs?
No, and she still didn't eat it at work until like a day. She still didn't even eat it. That's
you called it too, man. You said she ain't even gonna. Oh man,
and she smiled, and I was like, "You dirty."
That was just out of spite, man. That was just spiteful. That's cold.
I'll tell you something. I got to tell you, man. I did something. I'd say for the third or fourth time, talking about musically. I took some stabs at country music, and my girlfriend, the latest one that I did, she loves it. Like the one that I did before, I put another one out to social media, and people effing loved it. It's one of the it's one of the favorite ones out there. And I did one about 48 hours, about 24 hours ago, and I let my girlfriend hear it last night. And she said it sounded and she loved it. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. You familiar?
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much of them I was listening to until I realized who they actually were. I just listened to their music. And I just love how they sound sonically. And I just did one the other day, and she was just like, that's exactly what that sounds like. And that just goes to show you, man, them inspirations come from everywhere. Anytime any producer goes to make any kind of music, he's got inspiration from somewhere. And I don't know that anybody, there might be some unique creatures out here that goes into a studio and decides to make a beat sound like something or music sound like something. I have no plan when I go in the studio. None. And whatever comes out, comes out. And it's just what I'm feeling at the time. And she absolutely, that's one of the ones, it's hard. She's a hard audience, bro. And she effing loved that one.
That's interesting. So like every good Canadian should be familiar with that particular group of people. Reason being is there's a fourth name that is regularly attributed to those other three you named. The three you named are the three Americans. The Canadian is Neil Young. So it's usually Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. That's usually how that rocks out.
I might have said it wrong. She probably said that.
No, you said it right. Right. There's just it's usually Young as well. Neil Young's a serious. Yeah, he's a Canadian guy, man. He's like when I say a Canadian guy, he was like one of the big Canadian acts at why am I blanking out? The original big music festival with
about Lollapalooza.
No, that's the name that I have in my head. It's not Lollapalooza. It's Woodstock. There we go. Thank you. Woodstock with Jimi Hendrix. Like him and Jimmy rocked out, and he like spread a lot of the legend of Jimi Hendrix just by word of mouth when he was doing stuff. Like, yo, you got to check out this guy. He's crazy. And this is Neil Young. Did a couple of tracks with Jimmy in time. He's a big Canadian guy. Keep on rocking in the free world is Neil Young.
I got to speed it up a little bit because I know the chef is waiting to get going, man. I don't know what it is about acoustic guitar and white people, but they absolutely love acoustic guitar.
You know what? So you started talking about ballads last week, and I was clowning you, and then I got in my car, and a song came on, and it blew my mind. It was this ballad, and it's 1,000,000,000% acoustic. You know what I'm saying? Like acoustic guitar and shit. I was like, oh man,
you listen to Tracy Chapman, motherfucker.
It might as well have been. I will say it's much whiter than Tracy Chapman's ever been. But the cat could sing, man. So I was just listening to the song. It reminded me of a couple people. So I was like, let me check out some of this stuff. And I've been listening to this guy all week, singing up and down my crib, and my wife looking at me like, what happened to you? You know what I mean? Like,
no, man.
You know what I'm saying? What happened to you, man? But anyways, I guess it all kind of lines up. So now, strangely, I kind of want to hear your country track too, because go figure. Anyway,
I got a nice little list of them now. I got several.
All right.
But yeah, man, let's
point me at that country track and the ballad, and let me listen to them both. We'll see.
Country, soft rock, hard rock, I can do it all, man.
All right. Like I said, let me see what it looks like. I'll be the judge.
Let's get the chef all trimmed and lined up, kids.
Oh, who?
Chef. Trips. Chef Trips. Chef Trips. Chef Trips. A motherfucker in the kitchen. And it will be beautiful.
It sure will. And here's our guy right now. What it do, Chef?
What up, Chef?
Hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
We got you.
Welcome to the kitchen of Chef Trips. I am your owner and proprietor, Chef Trips, or as you know me and love me as, on some extra sauce, a MFer in the kitchen. For tonight's live cooking recipe, we will be making a chili mac and cheese, and it will include 2 different meats of the ground turkey and ground Italian sausage. It will involve 3 of the beans of the variety of kidney, pinto, and black beans, as well as 2 different cheeses, sharp cheddar and pepper jack. And they will all come together and be beautiful.
Love it. Thank God I ate food today, man.
I didn't eat enough, man. I'm in trouble.
Oh, you need to go get some because like
I'm
this
in serious trouble tonight.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
So now let's go to the effort in the kitchen camp right here, and we will start with a nice deep pot, and we're going to raise it up the heat until a medium high, and we are going to put some of our oil in to give it a nice coating at the bottom, and then we will get into once it warms up, we will be adding some diced onions as well as green pepper, and then we will hit it with the minced garlic before we add in our meats.
Hey, Chef.
So, yes.
Even if I never seen your face before, I know you're a brother. Just by the way that pan look.
This pan right here?
Yeah, I know you're a brother.
And how can you tell that?
Brothers, sisters, the only one with pans like this.
Well, these are beautiful because they have nice heavy tops that club is the name it says here. But it is nice and heavy. But the downside is the handles here are very minimal. So when you are moving or stirring it around, you have to have a oven mitt on so you do not burn yourself, because you do not want to be stirring around and breaking up meat or anything like that, because it will slide off of the burner.
I know they will survive a nuclear disaster. I know that.
Well, that is very true, because you can keep these under your sink for decades, and then you can use them for even decades more. So now we will introduce some of our onions, because some we will leave over as a topping. You can also top with the green onions, but we ain't doing all of that. So we throw those in there, and then we put all those in there. All those over there.
Getting an A+ so far. That's how you do it.
Excuse me?
I said you're getting an A+ so far. That's always a good start.
Oh, thank you very much. Then we get a little coating of the oil all over them so they can start to break down a little bit right there. Then we will hit these off with a little bit of the pepper of the black variety.
There we go.
And a little bit of the natural sea salt. Not too much, because we have other ingredients that will also contain salt and sodium. So I do not like to have a lot of salt and sodium throughout the dish as they will all come together.
That's right, Levante. Caramelizing them damn vegetables, man. Got to do it. You ain't doing it right unless you do this part.
Because that caramelization unlocks that interior sweetness, and it just changes that flavor profile. And then once the vegetables are within the chili mac, they will break down even more and become nice and soft and juicy and flavorful.
Ramen-Narski's got a taste. Super No Maniac Ramen-Narski's got a taste for lime, meat, and cheese.
Those kitties can be.
Are you related to
nice
Charlie
tender.
Sheen? LeBron? Any relation? Tiger blood and lion meat?
Man.
And so now that the Chicago Bears draft is over, and we have a lot of new players that the Nomad and the Kids and the Triple R will be talking about later. But I would like to say welcome to all of the new players. And whether you were drafted first, or whether you were drafted seventh, or whether you were undrafted, or whether you are a mini camp invite, you have the opportunity to live out your dream and become a professional at the sport that you love. Take full advantage of the opportunity and don't let nobody give you shit about how you were overdrafted or don't fit any schemes. You do you, and I wish all of our coaching staff the best to develop these young players as well.
Hey, Chef, a couple of days ago, I made some chicken gravy with a lot of onions in it, like a lot of onions. And it gave me so much gas. It gave me so much gas, man. It was ridiculous. Onions can do that.
That is the thing. The onions can and will give you gas. But then even though the tongue and the taste buds enjoy them, the digestive system, not so much. So we have to temper our taste buds, or as the expression goes, we can't let our eyes be bigger than our tummies. And in this case, we can't let our taste buds be bigger than our digestive system.
The people ought to know that that's medicine in a pan that Chef is cooking up right now. Those onions and bell peppers are medicine.
And then I added the minced garlic.
Yeah, also.
But we keep that moving so that the garlic does not burn, because now you cannot smell it, but I can tell that the onions and the green pepper have released their caramelization, and they are good to go. So now, while the heat is still there, we are going to introduce our meats. And we are using a pound total. So we are using a half a pound of the Italian sausage and a half a pound of the ground turkey. But you can always utilize whatever meat you choose. You can use one meat, two meats, three meats, or four meats, or more. You can use lamb, chicken, beef, turkey, venison, fowl, whatever kind of meat you choose, or whatever kind of meats are available, or whatever kind of meats your diet requires.
Oh, I see. I kind of see where this is going. Oh,
and
boy.
then as the vegetables continue to caramelize, we break up the meat into pieces as we go. And that's why you make sure that you have a silicone type glove to hold the pan, because if you're using any kind of a cloth glove, the heat would catch on fire from the burner underneath. Safety first.
Who's your line meat plug, man? Where are you getting this line meat from?
There's the same dude that hangs out by the subway on the low end, and he said his name is Berg of Doneness or something like that. And he has a hookup for the little kitties that are fresh and tender and always envious of everybody else.
Roar, if you hear me.
They are for sure our number one nemesis in the NFC North.
Oh, snap.
We got to get them.
We keep breaking them up. I do not
From
care
the
if
Food
it's
Network, he
healthy.
said. He can't.
And even though Ron is talking about the kitty meat, I have to throw in the always favorite FGB to the FG to the beats.
Well, we're putting some cheese in here anyway, so we'll get you grating. You know what I mean?
I am not personally a fan of the grating of the cheese because many times the
Slice
grating,
yourself
I
up.
have grated too much off of my skin.
Uh-oh.
So I'm more of a dice up kind of guy, even though when you grate it and have you shred it, it gets a little more stringy. But when you are using the processed cheese as well, it does not really matter too much. I will show you that in a little bit. But now that we have our meat, and it is the pinkness is almost out, as we don't have to have it brown totally because it will still be cooking. But we want to have the majority of the brown. And as you can see, the very pinkness is still there, but it is almost gone. But we do not want to overcook our meat.
I can
No,
smell
Diddy.
that. I can smell that.
All right, so because you see the sizzle and we do not want the bottom to burn, we will bring our liquid up to temperature at the time. And right now we are using 2.5 cups of plain water. But now if you have access to what you say, beef broth, you can use that. Or you can use a bouillon cube. But in this case, I will be using the better than bouillon flavoring. And so throw that in there to help season that water.
There you go.
Better than bouillon.
I just use some of that with the chicken gravy.
That ain't bullshit.
Okay, and that is beautiful right there. And so now that is in there.
Beautiful.
We will also add a can of the diced tomatoes.
Uh-oh, stewed tomatoes.
And then we will add another can, because we are using a pound of the rotel.
Ooh. Ooh. Man, like spice in his life.
And because of the gentle spiciness, we will add a little more of the green chilies.
Ooh, now you're doing it now.
Those in there like that.
Yeah, Lamonte's with it.
Okay, now we put those over there. Very clean as we go. We throw those out of the way over there. Okay, now we give it a little stir.
Hey chef, I heard there's a national callback on sardines.
I was not aware, but you can never tell because the beef, I heard something about it was either chicken or something recently that we're recalling because of safety issues.
Well, I was just kidding. I just don't want you to put sardines in here.
Oh, well, no. But on the serious tip, there was a safety recall because of some food was bad. But I did not have the food in my kitchen, so I did not really pay too much attention. But now that the liquids are in here, we will add more seasoning. Now, I will do the chili powder about a little bit of there. This is a half of a teaspoon, as you say. So we use 2 of those together. But now remember that if you do not have the chili powder of the spice itself, you can use a half a teaspoon of the cayenne pepper, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1.5 teaspoons of the onion powder, 1.5 teaspoons of the garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and black pepper and salt, and that will be the same thing as chili powder. So that is in there. We will add our red beans.
Ooh.
Those in there like that. And then we will add our pinto beans. And they're like that. Over there. And then we will finally, for the beans, add our black beans.
Farting going on tonight, boy.
Oh, he's giving it all the triple treatment, man. That's all three.
There has to be a taste, flavor, variety. That's what you get from this MFer right here in this kitchen.
Chili.
All of those in there. Then we got those in there like that.
I haven't made near enough chili this year.
I hit it up at Super Bowl for sure. I made one.
Let's give it another stir.
Look a lot like this, to be frank with you.
With some scotch.
Make sure you
I had some scotch in it.
To make sure that there is no burning or sticking on the bottom. So that's why you have to make sure to hold the pot as you give it a good slide across.
I eat that just like that.
Okay, and the soupiness is good as it will be absorbed by the pastas, and you want a little soupiness as well in your chili. All right, so now that once we get it simmering, we will reduce the heat to a medium and let that go for about 12 minutes because we don't want to cook the pasta all the way through. We want it a little al dente. So please, someone prepare a timer for 12 minutes, and I will tell you when to begin.
Let me see.
Hold on, I'll get it straight.
All right, so now that we have the majority of our ingredients, and we give it a nice stir, and now we want it all to come up to temperature at the same time, so all of the flavors get to marry and know each other and have coitus.
All right, I'm set up. You tell me when to start that timer for you, all right?
Thank you very much. Then a little more pepper right there. And then personally, I like to add a little things like the Nomad was saying about the onions. I'm going to add a little more garlic powder. And then also a little bit of more, or a little bit actually, of the onion powder.
Onion.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Give that a mix in there.
You ever heard, Chef, you ever heard anybody tell you that you got a little too much onion or a little too much garlic in your food?
That's blasphemy. He must have been a vampire.
No, I have not.
That's crazy.
Must have been a vampire.
I don't know how you can do it.
Yes, I have not met vampires, but I have met a few succubuses. Now that is in there, and the simmer is coming up, our final portion right now. This is about 8 ounces of the elbow macaronis. And so we throw those in there. And so we mix those down. And now all of this beautiful juice will go in all of these elbows. And as they rehydrate, all of the flavor will rehydrate within the macaronis.
Question, Chef.
Yes.
How long would it take the chef to do away with a pot this size of this?
What the chef would probably do if it was for self, eat on it for maybe a day, and then have some leftovers the next day, and then maybe some the next day, but then on the first day, probably freeze half of it for another week or another day. So I would not personally eat all of this until it was all gone at one time. So it will be eat some now, for a few days, and then have some at another time because I had frozen the other part.
All I know, Chef, is whenever I want some time to myself and don't want to be bothered by others, I eat a pot of this.
I understand. Okay, now that everything is in there, and we can start to see the shimmy of the juices in there. We will, I would say, in about 2 to 3 minutes, be prepared to start the timer.
Okay.
But I will inform.
Okay.
But I will also, at the time, take a little bit of the meat is good enough because of the browning, so we do not have to worry about it being raw.
No bay leaf, Chef?
It is missing something.
Bay leaf.
No, it is not the bay leaf per se, but it is a little bit of a little more salt. And we'll hit it not with the actual bay leaf, but we will hit it with as soon as I find it here, a little more leaves of the oregano.
I was just gonna ask about oregano or Italian seasoning. All right.
Well, as well, the oregano is part of the chili of the chili powder, but as is, I added more of the individual onion powders and the garlic powders. You can do that individually as well.
Your good friend,
the timer, please.
Your good friend Ron Menarski says it needs grated cheese, and Levante says oregano does better than bay leaves. Either way, it's going to be herbaceous.
Yeah, with this mix, you want oregano or Italian seasoning.
I'm doing both,
which is oregano and some other stuff in.
I do both. I put all that shit in there and some pasta.
Well, what we will do as well, because of the greenery, we're gonna do the parsley. And it is a little bit there.
Parsley ain't strong enough to even know it's.
You know what I mean? I'm not a parsley guy. What about basil? You got basil?
Basil, definitely.
And then that was the next thing I was reaching for, was the basil.
Yeah, basil's good stuff, man.
Now basil you taste.
Yeah, you do.
Parsley, not really.
No. Parsley's like garnish.
Yep.
Let me put those up there. Get that out of the way there. And then we need this over here. And then that there.
Oh yeah.
Mix that in there.
A little more S&P.
Well, not right now. We will give that in a moment. We will let the flavors come together a little bit, and with the spices and the seasonings that we just added before we over season, because we can always season more later, as opposed to over seasoning now.
All right, look at Liberty's outlook. He says a splash of pork wouldn't hurt nothing.
See,
a splash of pork would not hurt nothing, but we do not have the pork. But what we do have a splash of that we will add is the Worcestershire sauce.
Okay.
All right.
I would have thrown a little bit of whiskey in that motherfucker if you're asking me, but.
Or some beer.
Well, we have the port, we have the whiskeys. This is the chili, not the bar.
For a guy like me, it might be up one of the same.
I understand.
There's so much seasoning it got me sneezing.
Okay, now that we even added that the Worcestershire sauce, we will also give it a shot of the
Yeah, boy. A little bit of Frank's.
I put that shit in everything.
Oh hell yeah. My girlfriend demands that shit now. She was not a spicy girl when I met her.
Man, Frank's ain't spicy, damn it.
I agree with that. It's more flavorful than spicy.
I agree.
You see me reach for a bottle of hot sauce, she started getting all tight.
Okay, now that everything is in there, now we will give it a little taste. That's why I didn't want to add more seasoning before, after all of this before.
There it goes.
That is coming along nicely. So what we will do, we'll now put the top on and let that come together as the clock ticks, and you can come to up here. I'm up here. Now, I'm up here.
Be right back, gentlemen. I gotta go pay a water bill real quick.
There I am. Now, as the macaronis rehydrate and absorb the juices from the two meats and the three beans and all of the other flavors and seasonings, and the tomato juice as well. And they hydrate together with all of those flavors. And when the timer goes off, we will introduce our cheese. And we are using two different cheeses. We are using the sharp cheddar and the pepper jacks. So I did not shred it. I diced it. Tomato, potato, potatoes, whatever. We all call the whole thing cheesy. And so we will put a little cheese in. When the timer goes off, we will mix it in, and then we will give that a few minutes, and then we will turn the heat off, and then we will put more cheese on the top, and then put the top back on. Now, also, I did mention that some of the toppings that you can put on top of your chili macaroni and cheese when it's done are some raw onions or green onions. You will top it off with a little bit of ground corianders, and also you can utilize corn chips, but I will be using some of the Sun mini chips. You can put those either in the bottom of the bowl or around the top of the bowl for the little crunch. But you don't want to really put it into the pot with the whole thing because they will get soggy and mushy. And they do not last well, like if you freeze a portion or if you even have leftovers. They will be flavorful and they will have absorbed the sauce and juices as well as their own flavors, but it just does not the same. So you always add your crunchy stuff at the very end in the individual bowls as they want it. Any questions and or comments?
No, well, comments. It'll just become soggy if you do it any other way. So I'm 1,000,000,000% with you. I'd never seen I never seen mini Sun Chips before. That's kind of cool.
I thought that was Pringles.
No.
Yeah, it seems as though their marketing department possibly came up with new packaging to compete in the Pringles market. And they are Sun Chips, but they are the minis. So that could be a new angle because they stood out because they were not in the bag. So that is points for their marketing and advertising department for the packaging.
Okay, cool. Yeah, never seen that before. That's news to me.
The chef just got me into a cycle, just inadvertently. I got a problem with Pringles, man. Like,
what?
I open up a can of them and won't be nothing left but dust.
It is hard because the potato chips, the sour cream and onion, the dill, the barbecue,
them barbecue ones are fire though. Yeah, I love the sour cream and onion, but the barbecue, man. Yo, I haven't had a fucking Pringle in gotta be 3 years.
Mess with those sour cream, onion, and bacon, and you'll be like a fiend.
Oh, we don't have those ones here.
Oh God, those are mad.
Sour cream and bacon.
Sour cream, onion, and it's sour cream, onion, bacon. I think.
What?
And then they have a cheddar bacon.
And cheddar. That's it. Sour cream, cheddar, bacon. Sour cream, onion, cheddar, bacon. Oh yeah. You'll be a. I'm telling you, a fiend after that.
Oh.
I'm scared
the
of
flavor combinations. None of them are let's say real food, or none of them are good for you, but they taste very good.
Man, Pringles are dope, man. I love me some Pringles, but it's been a long time, man. I haven't had Pringles in a very long time. Like my chip intake has really hit the skids, man. I truly have to say that.
You know what,
That
Kev?
is
That's
very
good.
good discipline.
Yeah,
That's good for you, man.
bro.
That's
Trust
it.
me.
But there are other recipes that I hope to get to, maybe not live, but how you can prepare your own potato chips at home, either not in the grease, but actually in the oven. And you can make your own flavorings from the natural ingredients you have. And then you powder them down, and then you cover them over, and you make your own homemade potato chips. But
So
now we
that's
can go back. While you talk, we go
you want
back
to switch
to
it?
the food. Yes, please, so we can check on our dish.
Boom.
And then you can continue with your comment. Thank you
Yeah,
very
man.
much.
I've been doing something like what you just suggested, Cavendish. I don't know if y'all got Cavendish fries in the US. I can only assume you do, but they make like a chip that you can fry yourself, and they're dope, man. They're super good. A little bit of maybe like some ranch spice on there. Oh boy, it's they're real good. I've been eating them lately, but I bring myself down to like 7 or 8 chips, period, man. Like I can't eat chips like I once did. Just not good for me.
No, it
That
ain't
is
good for
very
nobody.
true.
It ain't good
They're
for
not
nobody.
good for any of us. And now what I can tell you is that I can feel the food or the macaronis or whatever trying to stick to the bottom. So that's why you need
Perfect.
a nice flat surface and scrape that bottom good. No diddy.
Or maybe a little more fluid.
Now the fluid is fine. I might add a little bit more, but the macaronis at the bottom will always gather down there. And as they cook and hydrate, they will stick. And this is my first time of really unsticking them as well. And as I go around, when I retrace over the other spots, it is nice and smooth.
All right.
So there is no major sticking, but you want to stop that in its tracks. And now, as Nomad suggested, because the cooking is coming right along, we will add a little more fluid, but we want to make sure it is hot. Even though we are using the tap, we want to use the hot because we don't want to cool down too much. It will cool down a little bit, but not too much. And just a little bit at a time, just to keep it very fluid.
Every time I add water to a dish like this, I salt and pepper again. And maybe garlic and onion again.
You know?
Well, give it
I don't think he has to, because I mean,
he didn't put that much in there.
No, he didn't put too much in there. It didn't really raise it. But I like he'll give it a
that's the
taste.
thing with all of the other ingredients.
Yeah, give it a taste.
And the Franks.
Oh, it's coming along though, man. It's really coming along.
The time is almost done, Chef.
This does not need any more.
Okay.
This is any more would be too much.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Damn.
Thank you very much. Now at this time, I will be turning the heat off. And then also don't forget a dollop of sour cream in the topping. So now the previously cheese that I diced up earlier. We have our cheddar, and then in the same dish at the bottom there we have our pepper jack, and then we will do half at this time right here.
Levante's talking about Levante's giving. He said whatever's broth was put in there goes in place of the water. I'm not sure I'm familiar with whatever's broth.
He's just being he's saying whatever broth you use.
Oh,
right?
okay. If that's what he's saying, then okay. I thought it was a brand.
No. I don't think if it maybe it is, but I never heard of that.
Well, no, it's like whatever broth you use.
Yeah.
In place of the water. But if you use the water, you use the better than bouillon or bouillon seasoning, or you just season it a little bit heavier because you are replacing those flavors.
Only broth I wouldn't put in here is maybe a seafood broth, and I wouldn't be scared to do it, but that's the last one I would go for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that we have that part of the cheese in there all mixed in, we will put the rest of the cheese on the top. And then we will just leave that there. This ends up to be about 2 cups or so.
It's coming right along.
Then we spread that around there. And then the aforementioned top it with a little splash of the ground coriander.
Okay.
I got you, Levante.
No cumin in this motherfucker?
The cumin is right here. And that is a good idea as well. And we will give that what did I do, Michael?
Put a lid on that thing and it's over with.
Oh, that's what I was doing, but I got distracted looking for the cumin. My bad. It was right there a minute ago. I just had it. But yes, now we put the lid on and we let the cheese melt down, and we let the absorption of the sauce of the juice continue. And if you want to add any more of the make it more watery for more juice, you can always add more of the water. So there's a little cumin on top there. All right, so now as those are there, we leave that there. The heat is off. Anti-glint fry. And then we close that up there. And then now, as we are almost prepared to eat, it does not take you long to prepare this dish in your own kitchen. And it does not take many different ingredients to customize it to your taste and or your dietary requirements or restrictions. So think about doing something like this to jazz up the dinner and your family.
Yeah,
so as we have everything paid out, are there any questions and or comments?
Well, the comments are there. What up, FFG? Yeah, they just going along with it. They liking what they seeing. I can tell. They're loving it.
Very, very good.
This is
Now,
gonna be good.
as we just leave that there, see that pot is hot. Ooh, don't forget your glove. Safety first. And then the other side, make sure that's on their level.
Well, you got it
Right.
at about mid heat.
No, the heat is off.
Oh, okay.
The heat is off.
Let the temperature of the food melt the cheese.
Yes, that's what happens there. And so while that is happening now, we will switch out for our presentation. And so the rest of the macaronis, they will absorb that heat as will the cheese will melt. And so this allows you to have even more juice if you want, if you will, or less. But we always want to make sure not to overcook the macaronis, as they will be soggy and mushy. And nobody likes soggy and mushy macaronis.
That's right. Except people that like soggy and mushy macaroni.
Yeah, I don't complain.
But that is true. All right, so now that is pretty much set up there, and so the hot iron is back off of there, we can put that over here. And so now, we could let the top stay on longer, but we all have things to do, so let's kick this puppy. Not that I would kick a puppy.
You got to turn that. That's the only way it's going to get or turn it back on.
Oh, no, this is fine, because I can tell from the meltage of the cheese and the dices that it is fine. And you just push that down in there a little bit because the heat is still conducting throughout. So we don't want to overcook it, and we don't want to dry it out. So we just do that like that, and then, ooh, yeah. See how it is all melty? And give it a little raise all the way around.
Look good, chef.
Got you a goulash.
Yeah, man.
Now, like I said before, if you want more juicy, you can have yours this way. But this way, you can still eat it with a spoon, but it is still too inconsistent to eat with a fork. But it could be more inconsistent if you prefer. So now that we see that cheese is nice and melty.
So, like, what do Vikings what do Vikings eat, Ron?
People.
Okay.
Purple people eater.
That
Right. So now that we know that
ruins the whole analogy.
That there. Or actually, we don't need this one. We will use this one instead. Right there. Yeah, that'd be better. And then our platform for the money shot. All right, yeah, that's better. Now we can take that off. We can get ready to serve up.
Oh yeah.
It looked real good on. It looked real good now, huh?
A little extra hot sauce, maybe an onion or something.
Well, we will do the extra seasoning, the hot sauce, the onion, the chips, and the individual bowls.
Maybe
because the actual seasoning for the pot is fine. But if you have a hotter tooth or whatever's, that is different. So now we will dish this up.
Hey chef, my girlfriend's gonna go with an extra tub of sour cream and piss me off.
Yo, my woman would do the same thing, man.
Extra tub, half a tub of it, and just throw the flavor completely off.
I don't know what it is with the sour cream.
Well, but it's a nice condiment for the dish. And
I
so
just
now, we're speaking of, as we jazz it up a little bit, you can have the green onions, but I'm using just the raw white onions. And now, this is a add-on, a condiment, a jazz up, if you will, as is the dollop of the sour cream.
Holy crap! Holy crap!
Then, now that you have that there,
now you need corn chips.
Around with the corn chips. Come around the side there, and if you have the extra sauce, it would absorb in the chips. But if you have it here, it will keep that nice little crunch.
If you have what?
If you have more juice.
You're supposed to say if you have the extra sauce. That's the name of the show. You did it the right way the first time. I just wanted you to do it again.
Hey,
well, if you have some extra sauce. I see what you did there.
There you go.
So now that we have this here, yes.
If there's an office chair anywhere around you that you sit in after this, put it on the alley. Tomorrow morning.
Burn that motherfucker.
Yes, this is a definitely dish that you may want to light some incense with if you are eating. So now that you see that there, let's come up here and see how it tastes.
All right, let's give it the old switcheroo. Boom. Oopsie daisy. Hold on. Boom, and then boom. There he is.
Okay, now we will take a nice taste of the hotness.
Oh boy. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. My.
I got the volume down. I can still hear that crunch.
This is why we like the add-ons at the top, because of that crunch. Because everything in the pot is very soft, we do not have that contrast. But we do have the flavors of actual chili. We got the 3 different beans. And then my first bite was a nice piece of the Italian sausage. And then the ground turkey's in there. And then we will also get another crunch with the raw onions.
So, Chef, the Liberty's Outlook is throwing another something into the equation, factor into the equation. He says cornbread. Now, I know a lot of people that like cornbread with their chili, and that's the thing. That's the thing. A lot of people like cornbread with the chili, but this does me well. Something like this.
Well, you can have the cornbread with it, or back in the day, you can have some oyster crackers, or you can have some saltines.
I like Ritz or saltines.
Yo, but the oyster crackers are dope, man. I know what you're talking about. Those are good.
Yeah, you can do them.
So, all of the different varieties of the cracker or crunch, all of the different varieties of the vegetables, all of the different varieties of the meats, all of the different varieties of the beans, and all of the different varieties of the cheeses, and all of the different varieties of the strength of the salt and the pepper and the seasonings and the spices. So, and all of the varieties of the pastas, because I use the elbow macaronis, but you can use whatever you have. So you can taste the green pepper, but it is not the peppers, but it is not hot. The Frank's hot sauce does not add heat, but it adds a little kick. So you can also, if you are from the Chicago area and you really want to set it off a little bit, let's add a little bit of the hot giardiniera.
Oh boy.
And then we will put a little bit of that on the top.
Oh boy.
You put it on the top?
Okay. Well, we don't mix it in, but we're just adding it to the top of the bowl. Like that. But then we will, give it a good mix.
Give it a next level little bite.
Yeah. I'll give it a good kick.
And then, that will indeed.
Yeah, eggplant and giardiniera has grown on me over the years, man. Like spicy eggplant, spicy giardiniera. It's good stuff.
Now that that hot giardiniera is a little bit of a more heat, a different spice, a different kick of a heat than the Frank's Red Hot and the other stuff. But the taste and the flavor profile is totally customizable and up to you.
Be careful with that, y'all. Be careful with that giardiniera, boy. That's snotty nose territory.
Yeah, it can go down that road. It's funny because I went to go buy eggplant, and I guess I wasn't paying attention. I came back with giardiniera, and I was like, man. So I put some of that on a sandwich one day, and I was like, damn, the kick from this thing is real, right? So, I'm in with the giardiniera now.
Are there not many other? Well, there are many flavors from the Chicagoland area, but the giardiniera is very not unique, but very local, and it goes on almost everything from the pizzas, from the Italian beefs, from the Italian sausages, to anything else Italian, to chili, to any and every other thing. So it is a nice flavor enhancement condiment that always reminds people that are from the Chi about the Chi. If you know, you know.
You can get the Chi everywhere now. AC Adams says, "Tear it up, chef."
Are there any other questions and or comments? Go ahead.
So I have one comment. So you didn't do it, and I didn't suggest it. But what are your thoughts on carrots in chili?
Not a fan.
Okay.
I understand the opportunity to have another vegetable, and I understand that sometimes if you dice them up nicely and put them with your other vegetables. They add a nice color profile, but just the taste of the carrots and chili do not go well with me. There are some dishes like some of the Greek dishes that cook a similar kind of chili dish with the carrots in it, but it's not exactly chili, but that flavor profile works. But for this type of dish, not so much for me.
Okay. Well, Chef, I think I know the line of where Kez's mind is at right now, because to me, I would consider, because there's so many things in the pot, I would consider chili kind of like a stew, even though it's not considered in that category. It is very well a stew, in my opinion. Yeah. And I could see, even though I've never considered that, I can see where Kez's mind is going there.
So I've done it a bunch of times, and just the flavor that you get from a carrot, it adds a lot to a chili. I'll be honest with this one. I've done it a couple of times. My wife hates it, and it's not just her. My God rest his soul. My good friend, from El Salvador, Carlos, used to make a bomb chili. We used to argue, man. He was like, "No, like we don't." He was like, "You're not allowed, flat out. You're not permitted to put any carrots in chili. You can't."
But there's a chili standard, and that's nowhere in the pantheon.
It's not a part. It is not. And he was very adamant about this. I was like, you know what? You're from the region. I will let you dictate what chili's about while you're in my house, but when you're out of my house, I'm gonna put fucking carrots in my chili. You know what I mean?
Something that is something that you can customize for, and for those that have never had it, the next time you maybe try the chili, or for the first time, try it with the carrots and see how it tastes.
Break the fucking mold, kids.
It adds a very good flavor because carrots kind of have a bit of a sweetness to it.
When they're caramelized, very much so.
Oh man, it adds quite a bit of an interesting flavor profile to chili specifically. So, anyways, a little 2 cents, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. But
well, I can also add that the pepper jack cheese has its own different kind of kick and spice. That is different than the jardinera and different than the Frank's Red Hot. So that pepper jack cheese is still in there representing.
Okay, kids, I'd be careful with that now. Just do that on a test trial with some people that's familiar with you. Don't do that out in the open, man. That's almost equivalent to people putting raisins in goddamn fucking potato salad.
Potato salad? All right. No, it ain't like that though. Like that.
It's damn near. It's damn near.
It ain't that. It isn't that wild. It actually, like I said, it adds a really interesting, just a little bit of a sweetness to the chili that's flavorful. But real talk, I don't. If I'm serving chili to other people, I don't put carrots in it. If I'm serving chili to my family, they're eating fucking carrots. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works.
Before we go back to the pot one more time, please. And because now you see that
settled down quite a bit.
Once it has settled and solidified, it absorbs the rest of the liquid. The cheese melts in, and it becomes a very nice dish.
Yeah, that's nice and thick, man. That looked great.
That's very thick.
Yeah, man.
That's almost
thick.
Put that on hot dog.
Like the Triple R likes his ladies.
Put that on a hot dog with the goddamn macaroni on it.
You know what? Yeah, man. Just throw that on a bun. You good to go.
So this is the 2 meat.
What's up, Paul?
2 cheese, chili, mac, and cheese.
He's calling it chili. He's calling it chili mac. I'm calling it goulash, Paul. think it's more goulash, and I like it.
And then we have our accoutrements on the top. So there are not hundreds, but several dozen different flavors all in here together. And so now, while this is delicious, the leftovers of this will be even more delicious because it gives the opportunity for all of the flavors to meld even more.
I love the chef being human, man. He's not putting onions in a bowl of Wheaties no more. He's doing regular people food. That's everyday food right there. You want to feed your family, you want to get everybody full and go to bed and have a good night's sleep, put this on the pot.
Because as Nomad mentioned, we can come back up here, please.
Switch it up, kid.
Sorry.
Because as Nomad mentioned, the things in the world are very crazy right now, and a lot of the foods are very expensive, and a lot of them are getting even more expensive. Because example, in this dish right here, I used the ground turkey, and I think it was more $3 to $4 or $5 a pound versus the ground beef, which is more like $12 a pound.
Oh, wow.
So substitute where you can, not only according to your taste buds or your dietary restrictions and or requirements, but according to your budget. And as things get more and more expensive, you want to utilize the foods that are inexpensive, but you want to make them interesting. You want to make them good. You want to make them tasty. You want to make them enjoyable, and you want to make them filling so that the kitchen budget, the food budget for you and your family can stretch longer, and you can eat healthier kind of foods that taste good and that have a little variety and will keep you full. And the varieties can be for the individual member, whether you like sour cream or you don't. Whether you get corn chips or you can get different flavors of the corn chips or the sun chips or whatever kind of chips you use, and that gives it a different profile the next time you eat it. So the leftovers are the same, but they are also different. Green onions as opposed to regular dice. Utilize the carrots. So whatever way that you need to make it stretch or make it a little bit different, don't be afraid to try it a little bit. You may have a recipe, but that is only a rough outline type guideline. It is not like a law written in stone. So utilize what you have available, and what you can afford to make the taste the best way you can.
Amen to that.
Very well done, chef.
Very.
How much you think it costs to put that together?
Well, let's go through it real fast. The Italian sausage, let's just call it $5, and that was for a pound, but I only used a half a pound of that. And then the ground turkey, let's call that $4, but I only used half of that. So those two, and then elbow macaronis, was it 8 ounces? About that, and then the can of diced tomatoes, a can of rotel, a can of the green chilies, about that much of the block of pepper jack cheese, so a few dollars. About that much of a block of cheddar cheese, so a few dollars. And then the rest, the chips were $2.50. The onion, which you get in a bag, of a few pounds, so however much an onion is. And then the kitchen and pantry staples of the salt, the cumin, and the Italian seasoning, and the oregano, and all of those things, as well as a few splashes of the Frank Worcestershire, and all of those things. So, and the giardiniera. So those accoutrements, you do not get at one time, but you have them in your pantry, and they last over time. So of the main ingredients of the dish and the sour cream, which was like $2 or $3 per tub. So I'm not keeping track, but those are pretty much all of the ingredients. So
I
who is
think you're
ever
close to
adding that
about.
up?
I did a little bit of addition there.
And the black beans,
Yeah,
the kidney beans, and the pinto beans.
I counted the 3 beans too. So you're probably around $25, and that'll probably feed a family of 4 for at least 2 days.
At least.
Easy.
Yeah.
And so that's a family of 4. So if you are an individual, as I mentioned earlier, you make this pot, and then you, before you put away the leftovers, you put half of them as leftovers, and then you freeze the other half for another day, another week, another month. When you don't want to cook, don't have to cook. So that cost is also deferred into the future for other meals.
I'm eating on that, and I'm stanking for 4 days.
Well, that is one way to do it, because I know that if you make something like this and you have extra onions and you have that reaction when you go night with the girlfriend, you will be doing mini Dutch ovens. Mm-hmm. So are there any other questions and or comments before I get out of here and transfer it, the controls back over to the studio where the Triple R is, so you all can continue the Some Extra Sauce show. So any more of the questions or the comments?
I got a comment. One last comment. I'm gonna do that for 4 days, and I'm gonna accept the couch for all 4 days.
I don't even think the cat will let you out there.
Nah, she don't want to even be in the house.
Paul Rodriguez is like, Sun Chips are top tier. Debate a wall. He's not happy. He's not hearing any kind of sideways talk about the Sun Chips. Sun Chips are top tier. I really like Sun Chips too, man. It's no joke.
It's all about
and they
the
have
petroleum.
multiple flavors.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the petroleum buildup in the house after that.
And then if you really want to get jiggy with it, you can use any flavor of Doritos.
Okay, yeah, they got some cool new stuff going on with the Doritos too, man. What the hell was the last one I had? I had something real cool the other day. Shit, it'll come back to me afterwards. My daughter was like, Dad, I bought these just for you. I was like, I can't eat chips, but I had to have 2 just to test it out, man. Shit, Doritos doing some special things out there in the world.
So whatever customizations you have to make, you make sure you make them, because this is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
So once again, I would like to thank the Nomad. I would like to thank the cats of the Canucks and the Triple R and all of the Nomaniacs, all of the cats Canuckers, and all of the sports Chicago style ers. And make sure that everybody is subscribed and liked, because you will need to know those notifications on when it is the last Wednesday of the month, and you will get a visit to this kitchen where you will see this MFer right here in here making these dishes for use. So please be sure to subscribe to my channel at Chef Trips here on the YouTubes, and look forward to seeing the video recipes. So I hope you do try this chili mac and cheese recipe with the 2 different meats, the 3 different beans, and the 2 different cheeses with the accoutrements in your own kitchen to your own specifications and dietary requirements and budget. And I hope your family enjoys it. Thanks for coming. See you next time.
And there goes that chef, man. God love him. God bless him.
Hey,
crushed it again. Crushed it again.
That was a good one. That was a very good one.
Oh,
you know, talking about food, just buying a little time here. Cooking economically. Like I'm one of those people. This house is a family that we don't eat out very much at all. At freaking all. You know what I mean? When we do it, my girlfriend fights with me every time, unless it's the Asian place that she wants to go to, or the taco place she wants. And it doesn't. The Asian places, because we get so much there, she fusses about that because it's going to cost us a 60 ball every time.
Oh, for the two of you, for sure.
A 60 ball every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand it now. You know what I mean?
In Canada, that's a cool hundo. I'm just saying, exchange rate.
Yeah. Every time.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it's satisfying in that moment, think about what that 60 could have done or that 100 could have done.
You never know, man. You never know. I'm like we eat fast food a lot. Like I won't even lie about this, but it's now, you know, it's like very specific fast food that I can get away with and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I do things a little bit differently now. No, like virtually no fast food chains anymore, like very specific stuff. But you know, we tend to pound back a couple of burgers here and there and a little bit of chicken here and there on a regular basis. But we've been starting to really eat more whole foods, you know, cook that stuff up and you know, like all week, all these last 2 weeks, all I've eaten is, you know, clean meats, whether it's salmon, chicken, or beef, a salad, and just white rice. And I feel great, bro. I haven't felt this good. I haven't felt as good as I felt over the last 3 days in months. So, you know, knock on wood. Just put that out there now. Knock on wood. I ain't trying to jinx nothing, but I feel fantastic. I've been eating well. And you know, we're trying to continue all that. Oh, you know what I did do this week? I know you asked me like what I get up to. So this week, I put on my Black Jesus outfit, and I got out back and I started doing some gardening, man.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna take it through the season when it gets really, really hot?
Well, yeah.
Just let that shit wilt. It's good.
No,
Everybody can start a garden, but are you going to handle it through the season?
So what we've come to find since the pandemic, and this is shit that I've been keeping secret because it's much easier to make fun of you because it's hilarious. But yeah, on the outside of this,
why am I hilarious for doing a garden, man?
Because I like to bug the shit out of you. It works really well. But in any event, I have a green thumb, man, and I didn't know this, but I got a green thumb. I've got a whole plant area now in my crib. You know, I don't just have a plant or two. I have I have like 60 plants growing, and it's you know, just something I've been doing over the course of the last little while. The wife kind of got into it. My daughter's into it now, so we're just planting. And we got like crazy aloes and stuff. Like we got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. So I figured I'd take it a little bit further and start doing like actual, you know, fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. So that's my new little foray into the wilderness. Got a little mini greenhouse thing going on. So, you know, that's what I got into this weekend. It was kind of cool.
And you know what? It's so rewarding once you start doing it. That like when you start, especially when the fall starts to come, you know, late June, July, in that time frame, you know, sometimes in the August it might start popping for certain vegetables, but it's so rewarding. And the freshness, I mean, like the freshness in a few months that you get out of your garden, the antioxidants from those vegetables can carry you through the year. You know what I mean? It's like you get enough of them, and then you save enough of them, put them in the freezer, whatever it is, you freeze dry, whatever it is you do to preserve or maintain what you just grew. That's one thing, and that's going to carry you throughout a year. But for me, it goes a little bit further because I can share, I can give, I can give some people, fresh, just unadulterated fruit that I grew here at my house. That ain't gonna bother them. You can't get no better than that. Stuff that you raise yourself. So I encourage you to keep doing that and do as much as you can while you can, because it's worth it. It's worth
Well,
it. Right now, you can still do more. You can still plant now, or 2-3 weeks from now, a month from now. There's other things that you can plant that grow better in the next month to come.
Well, that's what I'm doing. So I got a few things going on. The major impetus of all this was strawberries, man. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I said it here. Unadulterated fruit. Are we talking about Jordan Love? Ouch!
Oh, wow.
Oh, Wendy, man, that was great. Well timed. Well played, sir. I appreciate that. I'm laughing a bit harder, man, because this reminds me of Nasty Nate from Half Baked. But anyways, that's a whole other story.
What's your favorite veggie?
Carrot. Outside of onions, I love onions, peppers, and carrots. Those are my three favorites.
Go somewhere and get you some buckets.
Yeah, and grow them in buckets.
And get you some dirt.
Okay, I got dirt galore already.
Go no further than 3 to 4 inches under the soil and drop some seeds in there. Poke about in a bucket, a normal size bucket, poke about, let's say, about 14 to 18 holes. Just small, good. Just take a pin, take it out there and poke that many holes in there and drop some seeds in each one of those holes. No longer than probably the middle part of your finger. And watch what happens. Go get about 8 to 10 buckets.
Okay.
And you're gonna have carrots. And you know what? Carrots will last quite a while, because you can use that same dirt. And over the winter, if you can find somewhere where it's cool and dry, those carrots will last a long time. Inside
you just bring the bucket inside, you're saying?
No, it's got critters inside of it, but you're gonna probably need some new dirt. Just go buy another bag of dirt, put them in some kind of box or something, a small box, pile them up, and pour a whole bunch of dirt over top of them, and they will last.
Okay.
For a long time. You can have those midwinter.
What do, Trip? Your boy killed it again. Oh, unalived it.
Oh, yeah, right. All right. On always a shout out to the fam of the Under the Sports Chicago Style umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
Our website, Sports Chicago Style. The website is there. The channel is there at Chef Trips. He's doing it. I saw what he made, and I got the munchies myself now. and now it's the regular munchies because I'm hungry. Settle down, Bishop. Settle down, FFG. Shout out to everybody. Big up Nomad, big up kids. Let's rock.
Oh,
right about the eggshells, man. I'm gonna have to start doing more of that.
Rinse and grind up your eggshells and sprinkle in the garden to help your soil. Okay, all right.
It helps your soil because eggshells are they have the ingredients in them, but they're also a food source for worms. It gives them roughage. Mm-hmm. So it helps the worms grow, and the worms are good for your garden.
So, but what if you have like a raised garden? I don't know if you're gonna have worms in there.
It works in any dirt, in any soil.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but you can also, if you have the raised beds, get you some worms on in there.
Okay.
Introduce them to that environment and let them live there, and now you got worms.
All right. I'll tell you what, man. Great episode. Give my compliments to the chef for me, Triple R. But we got to get to some, and I'm feeling like right about now, I probably need to do a little less talking on these first guys, and we're gonna go through the entire draft class not fast, but we're gonna do the best we can to cover them all. We'll start right there at the top. This guy right here, and I know you guys have, you guys already got eyes on him, but after further review, what's your thoughts about Dillon thieneman? And to me, the draft steal that we got. What do you guys think? Start with you, kids, and go from there.
Easily an A+ draft. A+ candidate in the draft. This selection totally fits what we're trying to do. Totally fits a scheme need. He's going to be a starter without question. And what a starter he's going to be. He's got ball hawk instincts, but I wouldn't necessarily call him just a ball hawk. He is also a willing tackler. Got great range, great speed. He'll knock you in the dirt. There's really, I don't know. There really ain't much more than I can say about Dillon Thieneman outside of the fact that, again, A+ selection by the Chicago Bears. He's going to get it done in that secondary without question.
His versatility, his willingness to come up and be a willing tackler and bring ball carrier down, his ability to drive back in coverage, perfect for what Dennis Allen wants to do, and has the speed to man up and cover those drag routes and those one-on-one situations with not only running backs and tight ends but wide receivers. I like it. It was a need. He was one of the best available that could do it. He fit their DNA, as we say. And as Liberty's Outlook is pointing out, he's a blue chip player. Welcome to the squad, young man.
Yes, indeed.
If you want to go and really get some credentials about what we do over here on the Nomad Network and talking about what the channel has done throughout the entire offseason, identifying some of these guys, one of the very first draft shows that we did, one of the very first players we broke down was this guy right here. And so you're talking about first on the block in the Bears podcast community, I'm pretty sure we were number one. Right away. It didn't take me watching too much tape on this guy right here at all. Didn't take very much time. Right away, I knew this was a stud safety right here. And he's going to be a Pro Bowl. Right here in Chicago. I'm telling you guys right now, it didn't with the Ohio State safety right there in that conversation. And of course, he went earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But I am telling you guys right now, I do think we got the most thorough safety in the draft.
That's a great word, right? Because again, and versatility, another great word from Triple R. There really is no, there's no weakness, no glaring weakness that I can see with this particular player at this position. So I'm impressed by this selection across the board, man.
And last comment, I'm sure that now that he's on the same team with Kobe Bryant, we saw the tweet that Kobe Bryant put out with Woody Harrelson and Black Man. What's Black Man's name? Wesley Snipes and White Man Can't Jump.
Been on black, buddy.
But also, Dillon Thieneman is coming to the team. It's got Colston Loveland on it, and Colston already got the hook up to the cookouts. And, the spots in Hyde Park. So Dillon's gonna blend right in. And kids, if you don't know what Hyde Park is, that means they got the jungle fever.
They're in love.
Like sometimes you watch tape and you gotta watch more, you gotta watch more, and you gotta watch more to try to find how to break this guy down in a composite, put it all together and come up with a conclusion. And it just did not take me long with this cat. Right away, I knew what I knew right away. And I knew this guy, y'all probably got tired of me bringing him up in every mock draft. But because that's how good his tape is. I mean, complete. He's a pro safety playing in college. You talking about a day one starter, it's hard to find another safety in this draft that I can say that about. This guy he's a professional safety with the skill set to boot. He's got range. He's got speed and agility. He's got recover. He can recover on the next level too. When he does make a false step or two to get a little bit off base, he can recover pretty quickly. And so the challenge for him is going to be ingratiating himself with his teammates. When you're the number one pick on the team, everybody's going to look at you in a certain kind of way. But Dillon Thieneman, I promise you this, really quickly when they put the pads on, people are going to know. They probably won't even have to put the pads on and people will know. He's always situationed in a way that he can make a play on the ball. And when it's time to trigger and get to the ball, he gets to the ball fast, extremely fast. And he's always around it all the time. Even when you thought he's out of a play, he's around that ball. And that pays dividends. This is an extremely good pick.
The other portion of this is just his ability, the pairing of him with Bryant. They can kind of they're kind of interchangeable. So that's really going to throw off offenses. They're not going to be sure what to do with either one of these guys back there. So I kind of can't wait to see what that looks like. And Wendy's saying, worst come to worst, if Kyler goes down, maybe you drop him into the nickel position and do something a little bit different back there at safety, right? There's versatility there that we haven't seen yet, and can't wait to see it.
You know what that kind of thing brings to the table? Kyler doesn't even have to be injured for him to be put in that position. And you know it's going to multiply.
Oh, you're right. You could go single high safety, drop him down, and maybe put Kyler out on the wing.
The second they see him come out of high safety or out of the box and put him on a slot receiver, it's going to trigger a thought in the quarterback's mind. It's going to trigger a thought in the quarterback's mind. Either he's going to think, I can take advantage of this guy on this slot receiver or whoever he's guarding. Or he's going to think, okay, we split Kyler out high. We sent him out high to replace him. So they just split up. Kyler went out high. You're going to think you got an opportunity, and that's going to be the first mistake you made. The first mistake you made. The defense just gotten way more multiple now.
I'm just thinking about how they could do some very interesting things. Change formation on a dime here and drop him into nickel at times. This could be a very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting secondary, no matter how you slice it. But it's
he's big enough.
Saying he grew up next door to a black family and got his athleticism from smelling the cooking. That's funny. You know what's funny? That's funny, man. That reminds me of my son's best friend, who grew up right next to us and played it as a DB, and definitely, he a little bit of that rubbed off on him too.
Let me tell you how much further this goes, kids.
Huh?
Because we have extremely fast linebackers. Because remember, I just said that extremely fast linebackers, you can morph a coverage. You can make a hybrid coverage.
That's what I'm saying.
That too.
Yeah,
so
bro.
Only can he replace a linebacker? I mean, a nickel.
A nickel.
He can go into the linebacker ranks and he can tackle and field with the best of them. And so that is Dennis Allen's defense has probably got more dynamic than I've ever seen it. And I've been watching him for a long time in the league. And it's gotten more dynamic than I've ever seen it.
As we move along, coming off Thieneman here, one descriptor, one adjective that I've come to accept, embrace, and look forward to for Dennis Allen's defensive scheme. Every single one of the players, defensive line, linebackers, defensive backs, hybrid.
Mm-hmm. Wait until we get into the secondary pieces, man. There's guys that, oh my God, this draft class is better than y'all can even imagine, man. Even the UDFAs.
Come on, let's go. I'm excited. Come on, keep going.
Let's go. Right. Any last thoughts on Dillon Thieneman before we?
Yeah, I think the last thought to really put into play here is True Pilgrim. He says this was a steal. That's a top 15 talent, and that's why I give it an A+. To be frank with you, to have this level of talent drop down to 25, and for the Bears to identify it, secure it, and be able to start it day one, let's effing go.
Hey, shout out Vikings.
Man, it's better than you can imagine, man. This is a thoroughbred. Out
Vikings. Thank you.
Let's get to the next guy, and that is Sam Roush. We're not doing any particular order. This is just the order I loaded these guys up in the immediate assets. And have you guys gotten a chance to check him out? What's your thoughts on him?
I'll go first, Sketch.
Sure.
Heady guy, obviously, Stanford. You know, you have to actually pass the ACT, take the SATs, and get high scores to get up in there. But physical, he's about, 10 pounds lighter or heavier, I don't remember now, than Darnell Washington, you know, the big tight end that took Hippolyte's soul last season. You know, this guy is that kind of stature. He's very athletic, you know, something that's a commonality of the DNA of the Ryan Poles type player are those green RAS scores, those green RAS scores. This Sam Roush, he's an athletic freak as well. He blocks in line, very good at it. He will leak out and become a quarterback's best friend in the soft area when the play breaks down. He will go to the quarterback. He has good hands. He will catch the ball. And once he has the ball in his hands, he is athletic enough, you know, to get a little yak. I'm not going to say this is Cole Kmet's replacement. Yeah, I think that's bullshit because we needed to replace Durham Smythe. We need to have the third and fourth tight end because Ben Johnson's running these 12, 13 personnels, 2 and 3 tight end sets. And we need to have, you know, depth at the position. And I believe that this is a Ben Johnson pick, obviously. He was a tight ends coach. He knows what he's looking for, and Roush is it. He fits Poles' requirements, and he matches up with Johnson's requirements, and he is now a Bear. Let's fucking go. Bear down.
Yeah, I like this guy's versatility. You know, he's clearly a blocking tight end for the most part. Mind you, I like his ability to sort of serve as a fullback in fullback capacity too. It kind of gives us, you know, in my opinion, I think we're going to look at this guy as the Kyle Juszczyk of the Chicago Bears. That's really my thoughts. Who also doubles as a tight end. I will defer with what Tripp was saying with respect to Cole. I think Cole didn't see this one coming when he signed his extension. And with respect to an extension, what they've done is they've given Cole some upfront money, so he's cool, he's blessed. But they've backloaded his contract, which means they're paying him more in 2027. Clearly, they will be paying this young man a fair amount less. So depending on how he shakes out this year, what his direct output will be, again, I expect his output to be more along the lines of a blocking tight end / fullback, because again, I've seen him run the football. I've seen him in fullback capacity. He's a bit of a dangerous guy doing that stuff too. So that's my expectation. I don't really expect him to take over the Cole Kmet role. Mind you, if for any stretch of the imagination, Superman, you know, Clark Kent gets hurt, which is infrequent with Cole, and this guy steps into his role, we really get a full understanding of what he can bring to that position. And if that's the case, once again, you know, maybe he's the new Cole Kmet in 2027. My 2 cents.
Let me start right there at the bottom. And I know the conversation starts with Cole Kmet. I'll feed into that a little bit. What I think the Bears got a chance to do is really turn over this roster in a way that it's going to really become a Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen type of team, type of roster. And they're going to get a specific opportunity to really turn this thing over. And I'm talking about the class that they drafted, particularly and particularly the guys that they signed as UDFAs, not to be slept on. Because I do think that the guys that they selected as UDFAs have a real strong chance to upend a bunch of guys on the mid to lower tier of the roster. I do think that. I think they're good enough to do it because they match what these coaches want to do. And to the Sam Roush conversation, this guy has everything and every good reason for them to do what they did in this draft and get him. He's basically an extra offensive lineman. Is what he was on tape, and it shows up as soon as you turn it on. He's wiggly as a receiver. As big as he is, he's extremely wiggly and wiry and can run really good routes. Really good route runner for a big guy. And that was surprising to me because I looked at the measurables at first. All right, let's turn on the tape. You turn on the tape, and I'm just like, this guy is in the mid area between 0 and about 30, 35 yards, can run routes with the best of them. As big as he is, check that box. Put him in line as a tight end. I mean, as a blocker, basically an extra tackle. Excels to a high degree. This guy is a steal. And what Ben Johnson is doing for his offense right now by these particular selections, let's just stay where we are right now with Sam Roush. He is making an opportunity for the playmakers on this team to really function at a high level. As good as you thought they were this year, the level they're going to get to next year and the year beyond and the year beyond that is going to be something else to see because of the particular selections that he's making right now with this particular tight end. They're getting ready for the future, of course, but right now this guy can be a dominant piece that we can put in 13 personnel right now. Or if Cole Kmet's not there, he can go in 11 personnel, 12 personnel, doesn't matter. He can function however you ask him to function. Sam Roush is a great draft pick, probably one of the more underrated ones of the bunch because nobody could really understand why we would make this pick there. But you look at the functionality of that offense and what happened after that Triple R, who was there with me more times than not, how the tight ends came off the board after that should have told people a whole bunch.
Well, that speaks directly to Levante's comment that, more teams are going to 13 personnel. They're going to, the big, big bodies, but, athletic. And, it's a copycat league, as the saying goes. So, this is becoming in vogue. Never gonna get it. Different, but you know what I mean. So when Roush was selected, it's like, all right, this is Ben Johnson saying we need that guy. And then people are, I'm not gonna say fans are stupid, but fans are, let's just say, sometimes ignorant and or uninformed. But then let's just say also that, yeah, some fans are stupid. Why? Because some people are stupid. I'm not saying that they bad people. I'm just saying that they not thinkers. So it's like, we're seeing tight ends, come off the board. It's like, well, that's a reach. And it's like, well, no, that's the guy they wanted. Well, this guy was available later. We could have got this guy, a few rounds away. And then, you look at it and it's like, nah, he would have been gone by then. And if they identified him as a target on their board and he was there and he's going to contribute, bring him in. But then one of the stupid comments was somebody posted a replay of the pass that Caleb made to DJ to beat the Packers, FGB. And they was like, well, why don't we just re-sign the guy that was tied in there? And it was either Smythe, I believe. And he missed his block on that play. But Caleb got it off anyway. And it was like, yeah, we don't want to re-sign that guy. He was maybe good, but we want better. Best if motherfucking possible. And so Roush, I would believe, is going to be better as a, the 13 guy or the fill-in 12 guy or whatever he does, because of his intelligence, because of his versatility, and because of his athleticism. I don't care where he was selected. He was selected. Let the kids play. Bear down. Let's go.
All right. I don't have much more to say about this. This is
real quick, kids, before you get started. What you see, people see ticking on the bottom there is the entire draft class, all of their picks, all the Bears picks, plus the UDFAs that were selected as well, up to a date that I know of. These. That's what you see ticking on the bottom. But go ahead, kids.
Yeah, I didn't really have much more to add on Sam Roush. I'm excited to see what he brings to the offense. I know Ben's going to use him as a mismatch left, right, and center. He's also that sixth lineman, as we sort of see here in the chat, that you can help, with those chips, especially when we're worried a little bit about that left side and what we're going to do with it. We got a couple of chips there with Sam Roush. So I'm excited to see what Ben does with this particular weapon. This is a weapon, y'all.
All right, let's get to the next player, and that is Malik Muhammad, cornerback out of Texas, man. Look, this guy, it's not like I didn't know Malik. I know all these corners in this draft. I know them all. But it got to a point where I started compensating a little bit, overcompensating Trip, because we did so little last year because we didn't think the Bears would get a corner. And I kind of, backed off of that position because of it, because we felt like we would be kind of deep there. And I backed off of it. And maybe I overcompensated a little bit because I started thinking about the sequences of shows and how many cornerbacks I was bringing up on some of those shows. It's like, damn, I was bringing up a lot of corners. But, I didn't want to leave anything out. And so Malik Muhammad got left out of the fray because I'm getting onto the sleepers and all this kind of stuff. Malik Muhammad should have been drafted much earlier than he got drafted. I thought he was second round. If you want to bore something through my head to get my thoughts out, I thought he should have been drafted somewhere early in the second round. And we got him much later. Now, that being said, he gets considered as a steal. But let me just talk about his attributes. Malik Muhammad is, let me get it right. Malik Muhammad is 6 foot, 188, 190. And he plays press corner. That's the thing people should understand. When we're talking about any corner, whether he was drafted or UDFA, understand what they're doing. They're getting particular kinds of guys that excel at press corner, or in other words, man corner. This guy excels in one-on-one coverage. Number one, plays zone equally well. He's not uncomfortable in space. He plays it very, very well. He's going to get better at that. But his man coverage skills, again, it's not like he doesn't have things he's going to work on. And I'll tell you one thing about cornerback play is transitioning is everything. So you press man on X receiver, you on Justin Jefferson or whoever it is. Your footwork can dictate whether or not, and we're talking about in the red zone area particularly, your footwork can dictate whether or not he beats you on a slant route to the inside and catches a quick touchdown, or he beats you to the corner for a 50-50 ball. Doesn't matter. Your footwork will dictate whether or not you can make a play on this ball at all. And he's pretty clean. I do see some flaws, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. He overcompensates with a wide stance. And so when I'm standing up next to kids who's a Z receiver or something, and I'm on you press man, and you can do anything to me in the red zone. You can go inside, you can go outside, you can fake me inside and go back outside. You can fake me outside and go back inside. Anything goes in that particular part of the field. And so he compensates with a wide stance. So he'll widen his legs a little bit more. And so to him, it feels like you're getting more of the receiver. So, okay, I got him right here. He can't get outside of me. But if you go for that fake ass first move, he's already kind of got you where he wants you. Malik Muhammad done that probably out of 100% of the plays, maybe 15% of the time. And I would just imagine that he was tired when he did that. It's a little fatigue factor that goes on. And when you're tired, you really go down to you're down to your fundamentals, right? Or the lack thereof. Because that's what it is. And so I'm being particular about this cornerback because I think he's got a very high ceiling. And I just nitpick some stuff that people don't pay attention to when they're watching football. But when you do watch him on tape and break down his evaluation and come up with a composite, you see a very high ceiling. It's a very high, he's a highly skilled cornerback with high confidence. And I think they probably drafted confidence more than anything because he's extremely confident. He feels like he can play right now. And I believe if given the opportunity, he can.
All right. Well, we're going this rotation this time, kids. Because we got some dogs, kids. And I'll say this. The deficiencies, you got to be fair because it's not all about, looking at a few highlights or all of the highlights and being like, oh, yeah, and start glazing them. They have their warts as well. They're prospects. They are not guaranteed Hall of Famers or, even starters. So you have to take our exuberance with a grain of salt. We understand that we got to see them play and perform on the field. But from the traits that they have, from the history that they have, from the game style and play that have gotten them drafted, Malik Muhammad is a motherfucking dog. And he's got that attitude is like, hey, I'm over here. Wide receivers, no. And he has the physical attributes and the RAS score and the dog ability like Ryan Poles wants. And he has the man coverage ability and the meanness that Dennis Allen wants. And now his blemishes that Nomad spoke on, this is where I'm going to be like, hey, Coach Al Harris, go on do your thing, baby boy. You know what I mean? And that's going to cure that shit right there because Malik Muhammad looked like he accepts and thrives on coaching because he wants to be great at football. He has a chip on his shoulder from getting picked so late. So you take that and you combine it, and his mentals looks a little bit more solid than, let's say, Tyreek Stevenson. Because you look at that, it's like, well, how does Malik get on the field? Where is he? Is he Nashawn Wright's replacement? Is JJ healthy? But remember, Tyreek Stevenson got benched, a healthy bench, several times last season. Even at the end of the year, St. Louis, his mind was with the crowd, and Bayard had to snap him back in. So whatever it is, he's in his contract year. He wasn't picked for this regime, and he was benched when we needed healthy cornerbacks out there because JJ was obviously not healthy. So whatever it is, it looks like Malik Muhammad has a clear runway to become a starter on day one if he has, if he can do what, I believe this coaching staff thinks he can do.
Kid.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bear TF down. Let's go.
There you go. Look, I like this kid, man. This kid's got he's got attitude. More importantly, he's got some crazy measurables that you guys probably may have overlooked. One of the things that I'm sort of noticing with all of these selections, from a RAS score perspective, from an athletic score perspective, they're really high. This is one of those guys that, again, he kind of jumped out the park, like out of the combine with some really nice stuff. High end broad jump, high end long jump. Shuttle was real good, real good time on the shuttle. 4.42 40. He's got 6'3" wingspan. Interesting measurables for this particular player. Plays press corner very tight, and even when he's given some room, he closes distance very quickly, and you'll see that. The only area that I like, there's probably two areas of his game that I think he's going to have to work on and improve over the years. The first one is tackling. He likes to tackle low. He gets in between your legs. Not much of a body. Like you're not going to accuse this guy of just punishing people and putting them on, in the dirt. That also leads to the other portion of where he can improve. He's about somewhere between 183, 188, depending on what day it is or month it is. If we can get him up just a little bit, maybe closer to 195 or better, then we might see.
How tall is he again?
He's about 6 feet tall.
Because looking at him, he looked kind of.
He looks longer.
Like he can develop into like maybe even 195, 200.
He looks longer than he actually is. The only worry that I have in that respect is obviously if you put on more weight, more muscle, sometimes you sacrifice speed. So there's a fine line there. Hopefully he can pack on a little bit more muscle and still do the job he's got to do, because in many cases he's going to be pressing up with folks and he's got to be a little bit physical on the line. So that's my little take on Malik. The real upside is this: kid's coming in pissed off, and that goes without saying. He's coming in the door vex, as we would say in Jamaica. So that's all the better. That chip on his shoulder will only grow, and hopefully he executes every inch of that chip on his shoulder against the Green Bay Packers.
I'll tell you this player right here, what they've done is basically opened up the door for going to be different cornerbacks here in Chicago. What he's in line to do, remember, there's 2 corners ahead of him. 3, as a matter of fact. You got Tyreek, you got Terrell Stevenson, and there's one more that I'm not.
Smith?
There's 2 more. There's Terrell Smith, and there's still Zay Frazier.
So they are going to mix this shit up, and the best man is going to win this situation.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I agree with that. And Zay Frazier, I believe he's ahead because he's been at Hallis Hall, even though he wasn't playing on the roster, but he's been working out. He's been in the meetings and shit, so he is ahead in that aspect. But Terrell Smith, our brother, can't stay on the field ever. So I mean, how much are
that ain't really... true, man? That ain't true, bro.
When?
Look, I gotta argue with that. Terrell got hurt this season, yeah, and it took him out of
and the season before. And the season before.
He wasn't hurt the season before. He was just behind in the draft in the pecking order.
Okay, he wasn't hurt because he had mononucleosis.
Okay, maybe he had mono for a couple of weeks, but like either way, he was behind in the pecking order. So like he was going to be on the bench, or he was going to be on the bench.
But he's never been
best healthy. Time to have mono.
When he does get his opportunity, then he gets dinged up. He gets hurt. So when he is healthy, he's on the bench. But then when he's healthy and gets on the field, he ain't available. And so being from the previous regime. Not a Dennis Allen pick, quote unquote, being, it's time to, pay him again. I think this is the opportunity for, Zay, and or Malik, to just be in front of T. Smith.
Let me say something crazy again. Maybe you actually put him on the field and give him the opportunity to be worth something so you can trade him and make a buck. Get a draft pick get some sort of compensation for the I think he was a 3rd round selection.
Who is that? Tariq?
Terrell Smith. Tariq was a 2nd round selection.
Terrell, I thought he was like a 4th, wasn't he?
Might be a little bit further back, but I feel like it's 3.
You know what's funny about this whole conversation?
What?
We get some draft picks in here and we get a little excited about them, and we automatically just dismiss
out with the old
players on the team, right? Yeah.
They've gotten drafted. They
gotta go.
Now they got to transition.
Well, but the projection is, there are only so many roster spots, and so whoever we're bringing in, somebody is got to go, and so it's like, well, who is at the top of the bubble list? And I think it's these guys for these reasons.
Well, I'm going to say a couple of things. So number one, I don't know if y'all might hate me for this one. I don't know if Tariq is really in the cards for 2026 season. I'll just say that now. I mean, he's definitely seen the field. He's definitely played. Highly possible that they may trade him off before the season starts, considering that they just drafted Malik Muhammad. They also drafted a corner the year before. They decided not to play Tariq for the better part of last season. And there's also Terrell Smith that could also factor in. So this would actually give those 3 other guys the opportunity to really battle it out and see who gets on the field. If it's Terrell, you've again created yourself some potential draft capital that you can make a move off of, and then give these 2 guys a year to figure things out, learn the scheme, and start fresh in 2027. So that's my little take on that. Take it for what it's worth.
Everybody likes the shiny new toy, and I like them. I like them too. But let's not get too crazy with this whole thing, because guess what? These guys have to get in here and mix it up with professional football players, guys that have something to fight for, guys that have to play with a particular kind of gas behind them. You know what I mean? They created to me, one of the more ultimate competition situations you can ask for. And I mean, all across the board. I mean, they've got competition all across the board. And I mean that by all across the board. And as excited as we were for Zay Frazier and him coming in here and taking the starter's role and all that extra that we do at this time of the year, let me just tell you something. Pipe down a little bit. Let these guys get in here and let them see what it's like on the next level. Because immediately it's not that much difference than college. Because you're playing, especially when you're playing at Texas, you're playing a top-notch competition in the country. Playing the best football players in the country. Where it gets really cumbersome a little bit is later on, if you're asked after an NFL training camp to go and play as many games as they have to play in the NFL. Can your body do it? I've seen so many different players say on the sidelines after their rookie season, like that's just not something I was ready for the NFL rigors, the physicality of it all. Like you got to play way longer than you ever had to play in your life. And so that's taxing for a lot of football players. You're getting your personal life straight, all that kind of stuff that comes with it. I do think this guy has a strong upside, and his skill set fits exactly in the frame of what Dennis Allen wants to do. And guess what? Everybody that's been on the team before he got here, you're gonna have to give him a good whooping in training camp. If not, he's gonna rise.
I think he has the mentality for the whooping, and he's ready for the whooping. Just to touch on some of the stuff going on in the chat. So the Scrolls is asking this question. I think it's a viable question. Sorry, man. Put that back up. He's asking, what does the Muhammad pick say about Zay Frazier? And Levante quickly answered nothing, Scrolls. And I kind of have to agree with Levante on this one. Reason being, we lost a bunch of bodies in that secondary, so I think this is more of of a depth case scenario as well as a competition case scenario.
Well, let me differ with you a little bit, because actually it could mean, because of what we don't know about Zay Frazier. Because
we don't know anything about Zay Frazier.
And that could be the biggest thing in the world. They
I don't
may
know
know a whole lot more about what's going on with Zay Frazier than we have any idea or any inkling about. And so there's that. That's hovering.
I'm gonna say something, just to touch on where you're at with it. In my opinion, just given the fact that he got drafted, had something going on, and never saw the field for the most part, wasn't involved in training camp or any of the good stuff. They had all the reason to cut him last year. They could have cut him. This is where I'm going. They could have cut him at any given time. He was not a participant realistically in the 2025 season at all. And they went pretty deep. And they lost a lot in the secondary through the better part of that season as well. He was a non-factor. Because they did not cut this player, I think they see something in the player. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say. I don't know what that something is, because again, ain't none of us seeing shit. So we gotta wait around and see what it looks like.
It's nothing less than a conundrum because of what we didn't see.
Yeah.
But what we don't, that's why I tell people all the time, we know only so much right here on the perimeter. We only know so much. And as good as we can be in scouting these players on this channel, we still only know so much because they get so much more information than we do. They know so much more about these football players than we will ever understand. Yep. And now you got a player in the building in Zay Frazier, and exactly, okay, you're getting an idea of what we're dealing with here. Whatever that is. Now you got to go make another decision. I want to make him uncomfortable. I want to let him know that even though you missed a whole year and you're expected to come in here and really make a statement for yourself and get a spot on this roster, we're going to let you know this ain't easy.
No, ain't nothing given, no gifts given here, right?
That's what this draft pick was about, in my opinion.
Again, competition, no gifts given. You need to earn your spot. And clearly last year he earned absolutely nothing. So we'll give him that opportunity to get back out there and make a name for himself if that's what he's able to do. But Malik Muhammad going to be breathing down your neck, boy.
No doubt about it. I think this is a really good pickup. And we'll talk more about him a little bit later, but as we got to keep going. And, I've been looking at social media here and there over the past couple of days. It's a lot of people having a whole lot to say about this particular pick, because now we went into two or three picks into the draft and we still didn't get an edge rusher. And now people are just like, hold on. Everybody wants to compare him to damn Velus Jones.
Don't do it.
Down that road. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me just tell you guys something. He brings a lot of what Velus Jones was supposed to bring to that particular group of coaches. But now we got Ben Johnson. And I can see past all the fog that everybody's putting up. And I'm telling you, this is a stupid good pick. Stupid good. The fact that we got this player where we got him and what he's going to bring to the offense, as good as you feel about Luther Burden, as good as you feel about Cole Kmet, Colson Loveland, number 15, look, in order to unlock them, you need a jitterbug. Okay, didn't we get that in number 11 from Detroit? Yeah, we got that. Somebody that's going to be a stalwart, he's going to be ready to play. And until Zavion Thomas is ready to play, you got that football player, Khalif Raymond. You got that football player. But let me tell you something. This guy brings so much multiplicity to the offense that you ain't really seeing right now unless you chop tape and crunch tape. You don't understand what this guy's going to open up in the middle of the field with those three tight ends and the running backs. This is going to be a powerful offense, man. Like the stuff that I can imagine Ben Johnson pulling off with this guy, not only can he go out and run routes, and I gotta give him particular love because I watched him at the very beginning of his college career. He was not a route runner whatsoever. He was a gadget guy. A lot like Squirrel White, when we're going to talk about a little bit later on in the UDFA class. This is a gadget guy. You put him in the game when you want to do certain things, right? He's turned himself into a complete receiver. He's a route runner now. Not only is he that, he's gonna get you in the route running territory. Now he can line up and motion into the backfield and take the ball on a handoff. You got that going on. Now he can take a handoff and turn it into a pass. He can throw the football. And so as I'm watching this guy's tape, I'm seeing everything that Ben is seeing about this guy and imagining what he can do for the play calls and what he wants to install for this offense. And so think about it in that way. What does Ben Johnson want to install in this offense to give the defense absolute pandemonium? Get these guys operational. The tight end, Sam Roush, in 13 personnel. Let's say you just keep Zavion Thomas as the one wideout. Who you gonna jump on? Who? He is making this offense, and we didn't even got to the offensive lineman yet. I'm talking about the weapons. Zavion Thomas is an absolute weapon that can be used in the passing game, in the running game, and can get a reverse and turn it into a pass. Multiplier. And so the days that we've had since the draft actually happened and me actually really, really digging into where I can spend significant time and watching these players, I'm telling you, Ben Johnson is creating a damn beast. That's what he's doing. So all the people that had this to say about this particular draft pick and wanted this or that, man, just be quiet and let this man cook. Let this man cook. He knows what he's doing here. What do you guys think about what you saw?
All right. Let's go. Zavion Thomas and his 4.28 speed is not any place near what JJ even dreamed he could be when he was laying in bed stroking his ferret. Pause. Zavion at LSU didn't get the same amount of touches of love that he got. What was his school? Mississippi State. Where was he before that? Well, he went to a school before he transferred to LSU.
You got me with it. I can't remember.
And well, Chad, help us out. And wherever that school was, he was their guy. You know, third down and short, third down and long, you know, red zone. They would feed Mississippi State. Thank you, Paul. And he was, you know, their go-to man. And then he transferred to LSU and he had to share the ball. They had coaching issues, quarterback things. But when he got the ball, he had things to do with it because he got that juice. He knows what to do with the ball when he got it in his hands. He has, you know, to work on things as anybody else, like maybe a better hands catcher. I don't know. But guess what? If he catches the ball with his body more so because of his positioning, because of his speed and the position that it puts him in, he's bringing the ball in. So it's not like he's dropping balls. It's not like he can't run different routes in the route tree. You know, as Nomad was saying, his versatility. We saw how Coach Johnson deployed DJ Moore out of the backfield as a running back. And we're all like, yeah, we don't know what that's all about. And DJ never looked good doing it. But Zavion Thomas, guess what? He was a running back in high school. And they changed him to wide receiver. So he has the pedigree to run those plays from the backfield, you know, between the tackles outside. You know, he has the patience, he has the vision, and he has the toughness. When he gets out into a space, when he can stretch his legs, he's not getting caught. on returns, he's coming in and able to do that, day one. We have not Kirby, what's his name? The veteran, and he's a 1-year contract. Zavion Thomas can take a play package of 10 plays this week, and then 10 plays add on, and now he's coming part of the offense. And Ryan Poles did say a long time ago about wide receivers, they're all different sizes, You got big ones, you got smaller ones, you got shifty ones, you got the burners. He was looking for a burner with, Velas, a gadget guy, if you will. He didn't pan out. He didn't have the tools that Zavion Thomas has. But now you have the burner to complement Roma Dunze and Burden and the tight ends. You have somebody who will back the defense up off of the line of scrimmage, let those underneath routes or tight ends eat. You have the versatility to have those trick plays, as Nomad was saying. Zavion can now throw the ball because Ben Johnson, he got to have his 2-3 trick plays a game, and it's just what it is. You know what I mean? We just got to embrace it. So, the versatility that this kid has, the willingness to want to be great at football, the green, RAS score. So he's checking the box for Poles. He's checking the box for Johnson. And now guess what? He's checked the box and he's a Bear. I don't care where he was drafted. I'm just glad he's here. Bear TF down. Let's go.
Okay. I will side with the chat a little bit on this one, but I also have to side with Ben Johnson in the end. So I know we brought in Stribling. Stribling was probably the one player out of the 30 visits that I thought we might actually draft, right? That's just my little 2 cents there. I knew exactly what Ben Johnson was looking at when he brought Stribling in. He was kind of looking at what he's looking at with Zavion Thomas. He's looking for fucking speed. It's about that simple. You get yourself a speed demon and things you can do like crossers, right? We can line him up in the slot, and if you can't catch him, there's a quick, easy bunch of yardage just on the crosser alone. Then you go behind, you go behind the line with a reverse, and you can do this all day with this player, and it becomes a thing. And I haven't started to talk about stretching the field, which then changes what the defense wants to do with respect to guarding the rest of your wide receiving core and this 13 personnel tight end core. So Ben can get real creative just by fielding a guy like this. Where everybody has the problem is like, why draft him where you drafted him? And I can't argue with this, right? Like from a projection perspective, he was projected much later.
Hey, kid, can I? And I hate to do this too. I wanted to let you talk, man, but
so much for that.
I gotta tell you, man. I got to tell you. Everybody gets into mock drafts and whatever these mock drafts tell you these players are supposed to go. This is stuff that's out here, AI generated, and just a bunch of assumptions in a composite. And it's not real. It's not real. You know what's real? Being at Hallis Hall, fielding calls, getting information about players, knowing what you know, and bringing yourself to come to a decision and a conclusion. And everybody talking about you could have got them later don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't. They do not know. I guarantee you they do not know.
And
because we don't know.
It was Dane Brugler or one of these guys. They were doing an interview on something, and I saw the clip where they were talking about Zavion Thomas, and it was like, yeah, we had him projected at number 200 and whatever the fuck. But he went, early. Was he a reach? And they were like, according to our draft consensus, yeah, he was a reach. But after talking to GMs around the league after he was picked, no, he was not a reach. Because guess what? The GMs and the draft boards don't give a fuck about the consensus board of where they're projected. They're looking at, what they want for their team. And Zavion Thomas wasn't going to be there later. So you get what you want when it's available. And that's something that, I tried to prime you for, and Nomad's been telling you about when we started doing the mock drafts. And it was like, yo, we see these projections. He's a projected UDFA or whatever round. So you would get a bad grade if you took that guy in the third round. You would get a minus grade because you reached for him. That's not real fucking life. In real life, all of these prospects are lined up according to the team's draft board. And guess what? The team's draft board has more information than those consensus draft boards or your personal draft board, unless you have all of the same medical interview of their former teammates and players and coaches, all of that inside information that these people, get paid to do. Sure, some of you draft nicks get paid to do it, but it's just your opinions. You don't have all the information. So when the teams have all the information, they know how, Coach Johnson Wise wants to utilize them. And he's a one of one kind of guy in their view. And it's like, all right, we got the tight end, for blocking. Now we need somebody that's going to back up this defense so our runs can work, our play action can work, and somebody that can take the top off and score and make a house call whenever he touches the fucking ball. Hey, Zavion Thomas, send the card in. Let's go.
Hey, you know what, man? If you trust me, and as much football as I watch, I watch a lot. I know this shit, man. And I'm telling you it's not a reach. And I'm telling you that anything projection-wise that had him wherever is a bunch of bull hooey. I'm telling you.
Guys, I hear what you're saying. I just don't know. I don't know what you're saying. Because
look at it like this, kids.
Let me finish for a second.
Go ahead.
Just from a factual perspective, there are multiple wide receivers projected, like Bryce Lance is projected before him. He fell to the fourth. There's a laundry list of guys. And when I say a laundry list of guys, these are actually high caliber performing guys with stats that you can look at and refer to. Zavion doesn't have all that. Here's what Zavion does have. He's got stuff that Ben Johnson wants to utilize in a very specific, like, I get why he was drafted by the Bears. Don't get me wrong. I get what Ben Johnson is looking at and looking for in this player. It screams, it's obvious.
Well, how come that's not the end of it, kids?
No, because it's a conversation piece. And here's why it's not the end of it. Why it's not the end of it is that potentially you could have got a different talent in the third. He was picked at 89. He could have potentially been selected in the fourth round or the fifth round, which means you could have got a different, higher caliber talent in that third round spot at 89. What I'm talking about right now is the real reason for the Velus Jones comparison. It's not because he drops footballs. We don't know if he drops footballs or not yet. You know what I mean? We haven't seen that in the NFL. It's because Ryan Poles reached like a motherfucker to grab Velus Jones, who was also projected to be a seventh round or worse pick or UDF.
It has nothing to do with right now.
What do you mean? I'm just explaining the comparison, sir.
I know where you're getting at, kids, but it really has nothing to do with right now.
It does, because it's a conversation that's being had in the chat as I'm talking. This was the conversation in the chat. Like a bunch of people are like, wait a minute, I love this player, but I don't like where he was drafted by the Bears. And I do agree with that. I don't necessarily like where he was drafted by the Bears, but I love what I know that Ben Johnson is going to do with this player. So for me, the two things kind of cancel out.
Again, man, I'll say this one more time. As much as I know about the game, as much as I know about playing football, as much as I know about breaking down players and scouting them and evaluating them, I know just as little about what the Chicago Bears are thinking when they grab this particular player, where they grab them. What I can tell you is I believe they know what they're doing. I believe they know exactly what they're doing when they grab this player, because I think this player has a skill set that can add to the multiplicity of the offense. Point simple, plain. He can open up things by way of his pure presence that where probably wasn't available last year. I don't care what we thought about, and I thought a lot about Zacchaeus. I thought a lot about him, but he can't do. And DJ is the only guy on the team that can kind of bring the running back thing into fruition and the passing game into fruition. They let DJ go because they felt like, okay, we can get another guy that can do that kind of thing, and he's more open to playing running back. The whole time, DJ, I don't think he was really cool with that job, but because he got paid enough money, he was accepting of it. Let's just say that. Now they're getting a guy at a rookie contract that can do the same thing DJ done. And again, rookie contract. I think they knew exactly what they were doing by drafting this guy when they drafted this guy. And I think we should just let these chips fall where they may. And all the chagrin about, okay, where he was projected and all that kind of stuff means nothing to me at this point. All I know is I trust what this guy can do offensively with his mind. And I can see where his mind's going with this particular football player. Easily. I know exactly what he's thinking.
And in that respect, I have to I fully agree with the pick because I know exactly what Ben Johnson is thinking when he selects a player like this. At the same time, I think we could have got this player or potentially another one who's very similar in the fourth.
Well, wasn't that the same argument when it's like, well, why the hell are we taking Loveland at 10 when Warren's on the board? We could have got Loveland later. And it's like, because teams wanted Loveland over Warren. Warren, doesn't mean that Warren's bad, but it's like other team. That was the other part that I think it was Dane Brugler, but saying that other teams wanted Zavion Thomas. And he wouldn't have lasted to those rounds. So if you're Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles, and it's like, yeah, all right, well, let's look at our board. Well, Zavion Thomas is right here. When do we pick again? Down there. Who's picking in between us? These teams. How many of those do we know that like Zavion Thomas? These teams. He may not last down there. Well, let's go and get him now. Send the card in.
One of the things I haven't said here, kids, is alert. One of the things I haven't said on the show is the defense alerts to certain things. Alert, alert, alert. As soon as they see guys transition on and off the field, they're going to pay close attention to the guys that are coming on the field. They're going to be a part of that play. And when the alerts happen, everybody's on actual high alert. It's real. Alert, alert, 0. When he comes onto the field, it changes the entire dynamics of what they want to call. Now you're going to look to the sidelines and see if the defense wants to, the coordinator wants to come out of it, whether he wants to change something last second. He doesn't. Now you got to go ahead and adjust to whatever number 0 is going to bring on the field. He's going to bring a lot of attention to himself. And trust me, when he gets on the field, they're going to give him the ball often. So that other teams that watch this tape of the Chicago Bears know that he is live and he's part of the action. Now you're going to suck the defense in. You see where I'm going?
No, like I said, you don't have to
look at.
You don't have to explain the pick to me here. I get the reason why he was selected. I don't get the reason why he was selected where he was selected. So that's only facts is that's going to play itself out this season. I'm going to have to see it in real time and the value that he brought moving forward. In that respect, the Colston Loveland comparison makes sense. I wasn't complaining about who they drafted at that time. I just sort of stopped and I said, they must know something I don't know. And generally, when I say that about a Chicago Bears, coaching staff / GM, it turns out that they don't fucking have any clue what they're talking about. in this scenario this past season, holy shit, these guys knew exactly what they were talking about. So it's a little bit different for me this time around. I'm just pointing out the obvious. Again, this is a player that we'll all be looking at very specifically. What's super cool though is I know exactly how this guy's going to be used. He's going to be used in those crosses. He's going to be used as, depending on how often Khalif Raymond makes it on the field versus him. He may wind up beating out Khalif in training camp. Who knows? But what Ben Johnson is looking for is to put somebody with excessive speed in the Amon-Ra St. Brown role. And if he can do that, that's a problem in the middle of the field, right? Like that's a major problem.
Let's go.
All right, let's get to the next football player. We can talk. We'll talk plenty more about this guy. But this is Keyshaun Elliott, linebacker out of Arizona State, who is 6'2", 235 pounds. I'm sure you guys have gotten eyes on him at this point. What do you guys think about?
All right, he comes downhill. He looks like a better version of Noah Sewell. He's a solid tackler. I didn't see many reps of him in coverage, so I think he's a first down run support kind of guy. He can take a running back tight end in a short field, short coverage rather. But he looks like he's a smart, wannabe great guy. Guess what? His RAS score is green AF, and he wants to be great at football. So he matches the DNA of Ryan Poles, and he has that relentlessness and the speed that Dennis Allen like. So he was a 5th round pick, number 166. We look at the linebacker room, and with Sewell, hurting his Achilles late in the season, with TJ, who's already a little bit slower foot, coming off of the fractured tibula, Tremaine Edmonds is gone. So who did we resign? DeMarco Jackson and his speed. You got Bush, was it Devin Bush and his speed? Hippolyte, it's only his second year, so you can't write him off after he hit that wall of Washington again in the Pittsburgh game in his rookie season. So you got to see what he got. And then, Dominique Hampton, who's been developing. So the wide receiver room and the opportunity is there for Mr. Elliott to, contribute on defense. But I think he would also be a star on special teams. Oh, yeah, in the linebacker room, I forget they resigned Jack Sanborn. But, yeah, Elliott, I like him. He wasn't a reach, I don't think. Some people say he fell projected on his projections. So I don't know about that because I didn't pay any attention to that. But I like him. He looks like a dog. Bear TF down. Let's go.
I liked your Noah Sewell comparison, Trip, to be honest with you. It's kind of an interesting comparison for this kid. He moves laterally very well. He's fast enough, you know what I mean? He's just fast enough. He's about 4.5. He runs about a 4.58. Decent enough speed. I think he's got to put on a little bit of size in the NFL, in my opinion. 6'2" standing, jumps 38, 38-inch vertical. Pretty good measurables across the board. But again, what I found from him was really just his lateral movement. He's looking for the gap, seeks the gap, shoots the gap, and good luck getting away from him in that respect. So I like what he puts on tape. It does look a lot like what Noah put on tape maybe in his first couple of years before transitioning to that middle linebacker role there last year. I did like Noah in the middle linebacker role. I'm not sure if Keyshaun will have his eyes on that particular role. Yeah, True Pilgrim. I was just gonna say he does take great angles in tackling. He actually really does. So I like the angles that he's taking when he's moving lateral. He sort of squares you up, And again, good luck getting out of that tackle case scenario once he squares you up and he shoots that gap. So, this is my take on linebacker Keyshaun Elliott. I'm excited to see him get on the field. I'm sure he will bring a fair amount of special teams value as well. But as we could see last year, and given the attrition already, the injury already in that linebacker room this year, we do need a fair amount of depth at the linebacker position. And that being said, it's the entire draft. What's really interesting were some of the comments that I made to Nomad and Samo after day one, because the two things that I mentioned to these two gentlemen was, I have a feeling Ben Johnson is going to get two more guys on offense tomorrow in day two. And what do y'all think about the linebacker core? You think we're done at linebacker, right? And there we are.
You know what? I'll just break this down from top to bottom. And what I look at when I see a team, I remember a whole lot of conversations about, we don't need linebacker. We don't need to draft a linebacker. We just sign linebackers and da 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 da. Let me tell you something. These are gap fixes that we signed in free agency. These are gap fixes. And I start thinking about Dennis Allen's defenses and what I saw in his defenses. And one of the key cogs to Dennis Allen's defenses, no matter how you view them, was Demario Davis. For a long time, Demario Davis was the cleaner. He cleaned everything up. And that means when the D tackles miss a tackle, when the edge rushers miss a tackle, they get off on an angle. And somebody just mentioned that, True Pilgrim, talking about taking great angles. That's the definition of what a cleaner should do at the linebacker spot. Take great angles and make sure you finish it. He's a great finisher. Keyshaun Elliott is a great finisher. He's a great cleaner. And I'm thinking about Demario Davis and how key a cog Demario Davis was in all those great Dennis Allen defenses. That's what Keyshaun Elliott is. He's Demario Davis reborn in his defense, cleaning up everything, especially in the short area. In coverage, yeah, he can carry a linebacker. He can carry a tight end. He can carry a running back so far. And people talking about 4.5 speed, guess what? You don't see that on the field. He can run with whoever. But this guy is a tackler. He's a cleaner. Keyshaun Elliott is a pure linebacker. Pure. And everything you might like about Demario Davis and what he presented in the Dennis Allen defense, look at Keyshaun Elliott, and he's that. And a bag of chips. He is tightening up the run game, and he's great support in that department. Yeah, he's going to have to fight his way to get on the field, but he should. That's what NFL players should have to do. But this is a real good pickup, man. He's a tackler. He's instinctual. He plays above average in coverage. But that's not, when you're in a man defense, in a press man defense, and linebackers are usually free, the linebackers are kind of like solo artists in a group. You got a solo career waiting for you. But in a group, you do what you have to do. This
You're
guy,
saying he's Bobby Brown meets Mr. Wolf.
man, the guy he is gonna make plays. He is gonna make plays. This is your future middle linebacker.
It's his prerogative. Let's start blowing each other.
Damn, Negro.
That's what you're looking at.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Mr. Wolf meets Bobby Brown.
Let's go. Bear down.
This is your future middle linebacker right here.
That's what we all want to hear. I hope he is. I like one of the things I didn't like. The height would be helpful at that middle linebacker position. I'm not sure if I'm probably going to say now he's probably a little bit slower than our boy Mr. Jackson. So we'll see how that shakes out over time. But I like DeMarco in that middle right now, man.
A Red Baron, the comment there, our team had difficulties or issues tackling last season, but something that is a commonality of all the defensive players selected this year that we talked about, as well as the next guy that Nomad's about to talk about, all of them are willing tacklers. Like Malik Muhammad is not a sticker, but he will bring you down.
Mm-hmm.
Elliott is going to stick you and bring you down. And this thieneman is going to stick you and bring it down also in the backfield. And the next guy of the draft, yeah, him too. So yes, the tackling I believe will be much improved on top of the team speed.
And I can tell by just tape and this is an underrated trait that all linebackers, good linebackers, middle linebackers, when he plays that role, need to have to be a great communicator. You see, when you watch the tape, you see it be very clean when he's pointing and barking out instructions. Hey, this, that, and the third. Hey, blah, 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 blah. You see people getting right into position. Clear, consistent communicator. I'll say that again. If you're going to play middle linebacker, especially on this next level, you better be a clear and a consistent communicator. People need to march to the beat of your drum. You say, hey, move down here. Get over here. They doing this. They doing that. They need to be able to trust you. They need to be able to trust you. We watch football through a certain lens, and this lens only sees a nonverbal football game going on. And I'm telling you, this game is very verbal.
I'm sorry, but Money, you're about to move on. But True Pilgrim in the chat is saying, hope Sewell can come back healthy and compete. Noah Sewell blew his Achilles out like in one of the last games of the season. So he's going to need a year, Achilles time, NFL time to rehab and recoup. Much like Ozzy, the nature of his injury, we don't need or want players trying to rush back to the field in the middle or the end of the season, from major injuries. Let them heal, then let them rehab. So, that's why I'm a proponent of, Ozzy just redshirting all next year. Between the guys that they got to play that position, they should be able to handle that position. And as far as linebacker is concerned and Sewell, I guess TJ a little less because it was just a fracture. But it wasn't, an Achilles tear. So if Sewell is unable to go, which theoretically he should be, and it's a contract year for him, you're looking at, injury settlement or at least a pup starting of the year. And if he's starting the year on the pup and this defense is getting a roll on, I think, as I said it when he went down, when we were doing a live pause, I think we may have seen, the last of Noah Sewell in the Bears uniform.
And you know what's funny about this before we move on is people just see the number. And that's what triggers the Noah Sewell conversation. It's very simple.
What do you mean the number?
People see number 44. Come on now. That's why the whole thought of Noah Sewell is even coming up. Is because they see the number 44. Let's just move on from that. Noah Sewell is going to recover from his injury, and whatever happens with him and his play. But that's where that's coming from. God,
well, no, I disagree with that.
Hold on. We got to keep moving, man, because we got too many players. And I know you guys have seen this guy. Tell me what your thoughts on Jordan Vandenberg. I know it's going to be plenty of conversation to be had about him.
All right, the White Rhino from South Africa. If he was his actual name, he would have hunted himself. Whatever. But not only his on the field presence, because he went to Penn State 3 years, then transferred to Georgia Tech and disappeared because nobody pays any attention to Georgia Tech players. But on the field, he is another short tackler who is a disruptor, physical specimen, green RAS score, Ryan Poles, and gets off the ball, Dennis Allen, and makes tackles for loss regularly in the run game, and makes a difference with double teams, taking on triple teams, whatever. He's a player. He's a baller. He's a dog. Now, he has, his off the field, mind right and whatever. But on the field, he looks like a little bit more developed coming from, somebody who played, was that rugby, and soccer type things growing up over there in South Africa. They ain't do nothing about no football. But in the time that he's been here and playing football, he's been getting better and better and better. So he's still a moldable, coachable ball of clay that I believe will make a difference and will make the 53 on this team. Bear TF down. Let's go.
Well, they threw a draft pick at this particular selection.
Traded up for him.
Considering all that, I don't see him not making the 53. We're short humanity on the 53 as it stands today, so I do think he makes the team. The things that jump out immediately about this kid is he's an athletic freak, which is pretty crazy. He bench presses 35. Which is pretty heavy. That's pretty hefty bench press. I assume he was doing it at 225, which is like the standard. 35 is that's huge for a DT. Kid's pretty fast, good instincts, swallows double teams, gets into the backfield. Again, looks can be deceiving. He looks like a really good, super solid prospect. His long jump, I think, is 10-10, which is crazy. Like he's got some really good measurables here, guys, and I don't know what to take. I don't know how to take all this, so I'm just gonna this is one of the guys that was in he made the freak list. He's a freak. I just kind of I need to see this on the field in the NFL now, right? Like that's my thoughts about all this. I think once we get him into competition at that as a DT, he may well beat out some of the guys that that are sort of in that room. So that's my hopes. My hopes is that he does beat out some of the guys in that room and really shows out. So we'll have to see.
So Anthony Wilson asked the question, did you guys already know about him? Hell yeah.
I did not.
Let me just tell you. What I thought about him on tape was, okay, he's a rhino.
Why?
And okay, so you watch, let's just say in this version of NCAA and NFL teams, most teams run a 2-gap system where defensive tackles, and we're going to talk about that a little bit when we get to Jalen Loving, whichever his name is, out of Wake Forest, 2-gapper. And you watch a lot of teams that are really 2-gap heavy. So you line it up with 3 defensive tackles, and they have to cover a couple gaps apiece. That's just the way it is. And you start trying to evaluate what this guy can do per his traits, given if a defense asks him to get up the field. Yes, I knew all about Vandenberg. He was absolutely a rhino or a bulldog, whatever you want to call it. But when I tell you this guy can get up the field, it's with abandon that is absolutely reckless. And I was just like, holy shit, this guy just don't give no shit about technique whatsoever. And he's just getting up the field. On the list, he was going to be a sleeper in this draft. I didn't think he would get drafted because his technique is so unpolished. But he is so effective at what he does, and that's getting vertical and getting to the ball. That's what we do in this defense in a 4-man front. He's going to be asked to get vertical and get to the ball, get on that offensive guard, get on that offensive tackle and push him back and get to the ball. That's the goal. In a two-gap system, that thing is to, okay, get on your man and protect these two gaps. It's that simple. You can't get up the field if you're protecting two gaps. You can't. So that's why his tape stuck out to me, is because he was one of the few defensive tackles that was asked to get upfield and get vertical more times than not. And they fed right into his skill set. He does not care. His job is to get through that man in front of him and get to the ball by any means necessary. And if that didn't show up on tape, and if that didn't excite all the people that's in the chat right now, just like, oh yeah, he's going to be a piece. That's what did it. Because they asked him to do that more than most of the D tackles I saw in the draft. I was saving this guy. But holy shit, he's going to be a piece. He is going to be a piece.
You know, not to disparage anybody else, but the get off that Nomad's talking about, where it's like, you know, height, and he's already gone. You know, he doesn't stand up, you know, like Big Dex did when he was coming out of school, and we're like, man, he's really slow off the ball. And it's like, well, that's probably what he was coached to do. When he get here, you know, he'll improve on that. And he has, but he still is more of a vertical, whereas Vandenberg stays, you know, more lower, parallel to the ground, even at his size, and he has power from those positions. You know, I believe, you know, so that's obviously something that is getting him, you know, all these tackle for losses. So, you know, some development and coaching, man, this kid could be another, how we said, man, what was Monangai? You know, he at 7th rounder, he was man of steel. And it's like, man, Poles traded 2 7th rounders to move up into the 6th round for this guy. Man, why was he still in the 6th round? What the hell's going on? Bear down.
It's he did it so like in a it's ruthless the way he gets off the ball and he doesn't care. The only technique he uses for the most part is he might leverage an arm to lift up an offensive lineman to kind of push him back and kind of help push himself to the ball carrier and just like use him as a skate to get to the ball carrier. So he'll push the guy into the ball carrier on his way to get to the ball carrier. That is the two-gapping aspect of sometimes what he was asked to do. But when he's asked to get vertical, the only thing that really stands out is his leg thrust and how powerful he is on the lower body. And when he gets to the point of attack to shed the block off of him, his hands are extremely powerful. Boom, it's just like really quick, like get the F off of me. I'm going to the ball and you ain't finna stop me. That kind of relentless effort sticks out on tape. Jordan Vandenberg, with the way he plays right now, is going to immediately garner him some playing time. And if he gets on the field, it's going to be hard to get his ass off because of the way he plays. He plays with a low pad level, violent hands, really strong at the point of attack. I mean, extremely strong. Strong ass lower body. And he's built low to the ground. And that's kind of hard to say for, what is he? He's 6'3", 300. But he plays with a pad level lower than a 6'3" guy.
Yeah, it's probably about a 6 foot. Like his pad level is super low. It's probably around 6 foot, and that's, you know, it's crazy to think about. You know, very specifically Javon and how high his pad level regularly is. To me, it's a huge difference. You're getting up underneath guards, right? That's really where you're getting, and your ability to sort of bowl them down or bowl them over now depends much more on your ability to sort of hand fight and get through. And as our boy Samo was saying, he's got old man strength. That really comes in helpful.
Man, I'm telling you, it's impressive to watch. I didn't think he would get drafted. I think he got lucky to get drafted because he's so raw. He's doing this that he did on tape with minimal technique. When I tell you minimal technique, there's not a lot of skill set you see being had there other than his resistance to the block and shedding blocks. There's some technique to that and how he does it. But and also when he's carrying in a wide zone scheme, when he's defending a wide zone run, when he's carrying a blocker towards the ball and towards the ball carrier, there's some skill set that comes to that. He's just like, hey, take over at the point of attack and drive him to where you see the ball going. It's like simple pimple football rudimentary one-on-one shit. And it, you know what? For him,
it works.
Freaking right.
Yeah.
And the sky's the limit for him once he really refines his technique and gets really good. This guy's going to be a really good football player, y'all. I'm just telling you right now. I'm as about excited about him as I was with Dillon Thieneman that got drafted early. This guy's he's a dude, man. He's a dude. That's all it is to it. I tell you what, man, because it's so many UDFAs to talk about, there's no way in hell we're going to be able to get it done and have everybody be comfortable for the entire show. So we'll save that part of the show for Sunday. We'll just do UDFAs on Sunday. I think that's the best thing to do so that people get out of here on a good hour. You know, we will do it on Sunday. We'll finish it up on Sunday. And once that's done, we'll get back to the regular programming on Extra Sauce. But I think that's the best thing to do. Don't you guys think that's so?
We're ready at midnight on the East Coast, so I can't argue with that. I know there are a lot of undrafted free agents that we brought in, so let's we can push that a couple of days.
Yeah. All right. But before we go, no man, let me ask you one question.
Yo.
Hold on. Let me get to the right thing here. Let me ask you, out of these players that we drafted, you know, for the Bears in this 2026 draft, you know, despite where they may have been picked, you know, on the board, you know, in their rankings, which one of them, if any, are not dogs?
Let's, to be real, there's not a guy on here.
So rephrasing, every one of these picks, Dillon Thieneman, safety, center Logan Jones, tight end Sam Roush, wide receiver Zavion Thomas, cornerback Malik Muhammad, linebacker Keyshaun Elliott, and defensive tackle Jordan Vandenberg are all dogs.
The only guy on here that I would say has a strong uphill battle to climb, in my opinion, is Malik Muhammad.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean he ain't a dog. He's a dog, but he's got to fight through some significant, you know, competition to get to where I know he can be. But that's not really addressing what you're talking about. I think all of them are dogs. And I'm not, because I'm a Bears fan, I'm not saying that, but we got to get ready to get out of here, man, so we can save something for we can get into that to give you a composite a little bit later.
Mm-hmm. Right on. All right, just wondering, because as long as this coaching staff, you know, can see what to do with them, and we are trusting this coaching staff as we are supposed to, and this 2026 draft class can hit like the 2025 draft class, bear TF down. Let's go.
Real quick, because I don't know. You probably we put a short out on Logan Jones. We talked about him several times on the show, but we put a short out on him. If you want to break down on him, we'll do that before we get to the UDFAs. We'll do that. We'll try to get to that on Sunday and break it down again for everybody, because we definitely put a short out. We talked about Logan Jones 2 or 3 times on the show. 2 or 3 times. We'll break it down for you.
Yeah. That man, I would like to see him get on the field is all that I have to say about Logan Jones.
I got you, Monte. If you weren't there for that, we'll break it down for you again. Ain't no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, because that's gonna be a nice breakdown as well.
Yeah, I hope
Dexter is falling down the depth chart this offseason. Well, that's not good in the contract year.
That's great competition to raise his level. That's what it's all about. This was about getting depth. This was about kind of flipping the back end of the roster and getting the guys that you want instead of playing with the guys that you had when you got here. I think almost all of these guys, in my opinion, have a strong chance to actually make this roster. It might be a small 15 percentile that may not make this roster. I think a lot of these guys have a chance to make the roster. And that's not including some of the guys that they brought in for workouts for the minicamp. That's got invited to rookie minicamp. We ain't even talking about that. I just want to see how that shakes out before I get deep into those player breakdowns. But I do think they stand. It looks to me like they're taking an opportunity to flip the roster around and get rid of some of what we had and bring in what they want. That's what it looks like to me. Some of these player picks, that's what it looks like. I think a good majority of these guys are going to make this roster, whether it be on the practice squad, whether it be on the 53. There's some guys that have been hanging around Chicago for the last couple of years with the last, with the last group that may or may not have a roster spot, man. I think that's where the level has gone to in Chicago. So before what you got going on, Trip?
Well, this is because minicamp, the invite thing, that's this weekend, right?
I believe so.
All right, so these are the for those that may not be aware, just real quick, offensive lineman Dane Walter from University Wisconsin Lacrosse, center Josh Kreutz, Legacy from Illinois, defensive end Terrell Tillman, Texas Tech, defensive back Devin Pringle, UConn, running back Christian Vaughn, Hawaii, offensive lineman Jax Harrington, Louisiana, quarterback Maverick McIver, Western Kentucky, defensive back Jaheim Ward, Eastern Kentucky, defensive back DJ Harris, Youngstown State, linebacker Wayne Matthews, Michigan State, running back LaShawn Williams, Kansas, offensive line Pat McMurtry, Holy Cross, and defensive end Nico Taylor, Oregon State. So these guys are coming in this weekend, minicamp invites, and those that are invited are now, coming to camp. So these are, the guys that are the first to start battling for the 2026 and beyond roster.
So really quickly, I already put out 2 shorts on a couple of guys. One of them is, let me make sure I got him right. Jaheim Ward was the more recent one, safety out of Eastern Kentucky. He's a hitter. And the other one was linebacker Wayne Matthews out of Michigan State, who probably should have been drafted had he not gotten a neck injury sometime during the season. But he's okay now. And so that's going to scare off a lot of teams, and they got him as a UDFA, and not even a UDFA. He's getting, brought in for a profile, kind of a workout. And so without getting deep into those guys, I just wanted to put those guys out and point them out in particular as guys that I think can sneak through the cracks of that situation, man. But we'll find out after this weekend, and we'll see, man. But, hey, man, guess what? It was a good show, and we only got to the actual draft picks, and that's okay. That means we're going to have an even better show on Nomad at Night Sunday. So, Kedge, if you got any final thoughts before we get out of here, be great.
Nothing major, y'all. Like I say, I appreciate what these guys are trying to do with respect to this particular year's draft. You can see the modus operandi pretty free and clear. it's not really a question mark as to what they're trying to do. The question marks are now, can they actually do it? Right. So I want to see what this all looks like once training camp hits, it comes into play. I want to see what it looks like at rookie camp. I want to see what it looks like on the field as we get closer to September and then in September itself. Because these selections, they have clear and obvious specific roles that I think will make, again, Ben Johnson that much more dangerous as a coach, this offense that much more dangerous in the NFL, and Caleb Williams that much more dangerous a quarterback commanding the entire thing. So, I do feel that the Bears probably got to look at maybe one or two additional heads to bring in, and we'll see what that looks like again between now and September. But as this draft class stands, I'm pretty pleased with what they did. Trip?
Trey in the comments, rookie minicamp is May 8th through the 9th. Good comms. So not this weekend, next weekend. Thank you. I'm excited for the possibilities, because it's that time where the potential is off the charts. Realistically, understandably, we got to see them, on the field, and the rookies are not going to be what they are, right away. But if they can be coached up by this staff and contribute as they develop, it's all good. So the player profiles on both sides of the ball, fit the DNA, as they put it. So there are no conflicts of Ryan Poles saying, "Hey, I'm drafting this guy," and Johnson and or Allen, you make that shit work. It's like, nah. Poles has his criteria, the coaching staff has their criteria, and they were working synergistically to make the right picks, deemed to their board. And if we trust them, we got to trust them. So let's trust them. And so this is the first opportunity after the draft to, get excited about, because now that we've picked them, we've looked at their highlights, and it's like, oh, shit, okay. And now we got until August, before they even start, out there, start competing. So, it's going to be a long off season, keep hanging out. Thanks tonight. And also a shout out to Chef Trips for doing his thing on the last Wednesday of the month. He is a MFer in the kitchen, and it looks like that chili mac recipe is something that I might want to give a shot to. So show him some love at his channel there at Chef Trips, as well as all of the content creators under the Sports Chicago Style umbrella at RRSCS. Big up for all the support. Thanks for allowing me to have our verbal diarrhea as we think through our excitement, our trepidations, our, frustrations with you. And, thanks for sharing them with us all off season. And as we start building up and ramping toward the live calls during the season, just make sure you're subscribed to all 3 channels, all platforms, all the time.
I know. Hey, listen, Samo, if you want to come through here and help break down the UDFAs on Sunday, if you can, give me a cue, and your help is welcome, man. We didn't already scour through the tape, man, but to help break them down, we only got through what was that, 7 draft picks that we got?
Mm-hmm.
And that took a lot of time just to get through those, but this is quite a bit different. So, for everybody that got an eye on all the UDFAs, go take another good look at them. Look at as much as you can, and then we can come in here and have a composite when we get done. And that includes you too, kids and Trips, man. Take another look, especially right before the show, so the film is kind of fresh for you. That's something I do. I just take a quick little gander, make sure I didn't miss nothing, and that helps.
Question?
Yeah.
KC cornerback Casey is in no Mume, Tulane. Like, I couldn't find any highlights for brother. Like, where do you find some of this stuff if it's not readily available?
Ezio Mume has got limited, let's just say, highlights out there from Tulane, but if you go to the Alabama State stuff, he's got a lot more film.
Okay. Oh, so there's a previous school other than Tulane. Okay.
Yeah. Just go to
yeah, that's where FYI, I didn't realize that Zavion Thomas, I looked at his LSU stuff and I was like, oh, he went to a school before that. And then I looked at that and I was like, oh shit.
I can't believe I had that brain fart. Yeah, it was Mississippi State. Yep. I had a brain fart on him. But I usually don't miss shit, man. But again, man, if you brush up, right, it's just like doing a test before, exam. You gotta, to me, I worked better when I did a little brush up right before the test. And so if I peaked at, what I had studied, I just did better. That's me. But you guys do what you do.
I always sat next to the Asians.
That's one way to get by.
Or the Slurpees is what we call them in college. But that's a whole other conversation.
I don't think we want to know.
Yeah. Thank y'all for being here. It was a good show. I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Oh, one thing. Yeah. Matt, I would not consider Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Allman or my man. I would not consider them country.
I don't consider them country, but some of the stuff that they made can be considered country.
Yeah, folksy.
Folk. It's
hillbilly.
How about soft rock is what my girlfriend.
Yeah, rock. Not that rock, that hillbilly rock. But not country per se.
I agree. I'd call it folk music.
Yeah, folk country.
Soft rock sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that agreeable to your
palate? But when I hear country, I'm thinking hee-haw, and that ain't them.
So I suppose this is the way you delineate what you're saying. Is the guy playing the acoustic guitar on drugs or not? I think that's the way that you delineate, because like these guys do these guys are like acid heads, man. Most of these guys that you're talking about,
bluegrass.
Yeah. So in that case, I would have to say no.
In the country, because grass and shit and it's blue, but it's not country per se.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me break it down to what I think. What up, Ryan? Ryan Taylor Podcast 2818. What up, man?
Big up.
Okay, so what people think about country, I think there is also there's a lot of acoustic guitar. There's also a lot of fiddle. A lot of fiddle and a lot of harmonica.
Mm-hmm. Well, Devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soda still. A lot of acoustic guitar, electric guitar, a lot of fiddle, a lot of harmonica, but not a country song.
So everything you just described there also describes Bob Dylan, and I would not consider Bob Dylan a country artist.
So the labels are what they are. So, but it's not when you say, oh, what category would you consider that country? It's like country-ish, country fusion, country flavored, but not country.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just tell you this: it all. And this might ruffle a little bit of feathers, but I'm going to say it anyway. It all stems from African-American music, and it all is birthed from there. That's where the seeds come from.
Yeah, rock and roll, jazz, blues, yeah, all that.
Little Richard, Muddy Waters. You're talking about not Howlin' Wolf, but there's another guy.
B.B. King.
What's the guy that made that song? You talking about gothic music? I'll put a spell on you.
Albert Brooks?
No, can't think of his name.
That's put a spell on you was like
Albert Collins?
Isn't that Louis Anderson?
No.
Or we could Google that shit.
I'll put a spell on you.
Google does work.
That's where some of the goth stuff comes from. That's where all the goth stuff comes from. Nobody was successful at doing some shit like that until he did it.
Alan Price, I'll put a spell on you.
Damn, Samo said he got Yo, my son got a 27 on his first ACT test.
Oh shit, he's smart. Where he get that from? His mama? You know, because
don't let these people disrespect you like that.
Yeah, only
no. I mean, he
passed the shit out his ass on the show Sunday.
Yeah,
come on now. Sam will be passing his stuff on to his kids. You see the size of his daughter's head.
Muddy Waters is the, in my opinion, the godfather of, let's just say, the blues.
Yeah. So it's but all of that music is, I wouldn't say, some definitely stolen, but inspired by
rock and roll, Chuck Berry.
Yeah, all of that was inspired from the rhythms and the vibes of the slaves at the time and the sharecroppers, and then it progressed, and then you get your Elvis Presleys, you get your Bob Dylans and all of them. So yeah, and a shout out Afro Man and Lemon Pound Cake. Right on.
But yeah, man, this like
Lemon Pound Cake perked kids right the fuck up, didn't it?
I'm comfortable making almost any kind of music.
What's the homie's name though? What's
Afro Man?
No, the guy. He's a son of a bitch. Ooh, you know what I'm talking about, Chad?
The actual dude's name?
Yeah, because
the star of the show, if you will.
He just outed a motherfucker and put him on blast. I love you gotta give. I'm like, you know what I mean? You wouldn't catch me dead listening to his shit on a normal day. But
let's decide, kids. Have you ever listened to "I'll Put a Spell on You"?
Yeah,
there's been a lot of movies too.
Yeah,
like
there's some real shit to that, boy.
Yeah,
it's only right now. Stay the fuck out of Louisiana.
I'm telling you,
that's some of that voodoo kind of vibe.
And don't go up in Afro Man's house either.
Looking at his lemon pound cake with lust in your eyes.
Fuck Afro Man.
Hey, only in America, but he's like the antithesis of Don King, only in America.
I ain't paying no attention to these motherfuckers.
You for real?
You be named anything, and if it sounds catchy, these motherfuckers will put you in the front.
No, bro, you didn't.
But you know how he got famous? The song that made him famous,
Afro Man. Think about how fucking ridiculously stereotypical.
But the song that made him famous, I would have did, but I got high. Because I got high, all the reasons that he didn't do stuff was because he got high, and it made sense because he's like, man, I fucked up because I got high, and it was catchy. It's just some homemade in his basement studio kind of stuff, right? But it's like it's original, it's creative, it's catchy, and he has his whole persona, with the flags and his afro and his. He's very boisterous and boombastic. He's that dude from Coming to America, Sexual Chocolate, on the stage, at the senior citizen, tripping out, or at the jazz festival doing the same thing. He's an entertainer. And just using his creativity, it's just very American dreamish.
It just shows me that people in power can turn anybody they want to into a superstar.
Ain't nobody in power turn them into that.
No talent whatsoever. Ryan Taylor podcast. He said, "Hey, don't you dare make fun of my home state." He's talking about Louisiana. I'll put a spell on you.
And look at Samuel. He said, "Because it's authentic. Yeah, authentic. It's original. It's not, cookie cutter. It's not because of commercial, but it is commercial."
He ain't got no talent, and y'all know he.
Okay, no, who Afro? No, look, man, look, you clearly missed out. I like under normal pretense. Hold on now. Under normal pretenses, I would be singing the same song you're singing until I got blasted on social media with the actual occurrences around this thing. It's a whole thing, and you should just give it 5 minutes of your time. Give it 5 minutes of your time, It's actually worth its weight in solid gold. And the music that he made out, like basically this man said, you know what? The police and the government fucked me over for no good reason. And I don't really have any other recourse to mess with these people. They bust up in my house. They fuck with my pound cake. They cause a whole bunch of shit. And they erased my videotapes. They did all kinds of stuff. They took my money. My boy went out and he made some music. And the music was fuck these people. Fuck the police.
Right, that's basically what it was, a nice fuck the police.
It was a very well-served FU to the cops. He put it on blast, made a whole bunch of cash off of the deal. And you have to applaud this situation. Like you have to applaud it. I'm not
arguing that. Who's arguing that? I'm just talking about. We just got through talking about Muddy Waters. We talking about the guy Howlin' Wolf. We talking about all these different talented people.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we get to Afro Man, who has.
But Afro Man's doing his own music, his own instruments. He's singing. He's doing his own video editing. He's talented. I mean, he's not an original musician like BB King playing on Lucille. You know, he's not, you know, a Prince playing every instrument in the studio, but he's talented in his own right. You know, whatever it is he's doing, and he's putting it all together.
I'm going to explain to you how.
There's no way in fucking hell he can be anything if he ever goes bald.
If he ever what?
If he ever goes bald, there's nothing.
You never heard of wigs?
No, dog. There's no such thing. Hey, listen. If he goes bald, it's over with.
Oh, you're blaming it. You think his hair has something to do with
he's there because of the stereotype that people have of us.
And he's playing into that. But it's not a stereotype.
No, you're just right. He is
into the fuck you police stereotype, but not the black stereotype.
Right. He's playing right on it.
This is just one of those times where you're outside of the scope of a situation, and you're looking at it with your own glasses on. Take your glasses off for a second.
You gotta watch the story.
Take your glasses off for a second.
Exactly what it looks like, and it's exactly.
No, you don't, because you have no clue what we're talking about.
Did you watch his trial?
Hell no.
See, exactly. this is what I'm trying to do.
You don't know the story behind it.
You don't know what happened here. Basically, this man, and saying he's not talented. He clearly is, because he took some pain, some personal trauma, and morphed it into fucking cold hard cash with talent alone. That's what he did. And again, I'm not a fan. I've never you will. Again, under normal pretenses, you would never catch me dead turning up on some Afro Man bullshit. But my boy came together, and he dealt with the situation, and he had fun dealing with the situation. He turned it into a party. He turned a bullshit situation into a party, and it's super funny once you hear the story and you understand what he went through and how he spun it into a positive thing. You honestly, you would be anybody who's not impressed by this. Anybody who's not impressed by this just doesn't know the story.
Look at the comment. I'm just, what is it? Put that up there. I can't see that. There we go. I'm just gonna say this about Afro Man. He uses his security footage to his advantage, and he made a little comeback. But he made a comeback. Now you're talking about him, and what he's talking about the security footage is. He used his actual doorbell camera and his security footage of the cops raiding his house, and he flipped those into music videos. Now, the lyrics, I would say, are corny, you know, very, you know, it's kind of like rudimentary, but they're snappy. You know, there's a beat and there's a meaning behind it that you can see, that you can feel. Just check out his trial. And when he's in court, when they cross-examine the cops, oh my God, that is going to be a Lifetime movie, because they have the cops on there telling on themselves, is like, was you lusting after his pound cake? And then the lady cop and having sex with her partner's wife.
My boy says
you got to watch it, Nomad. You got to watch this shit.
Because it's hilarious. It is super funny, because like Triple R saying. There's footage of the two, I think 3 police officers. One of them is a female, one of them is male, and they're married. and the homie drops a track that has something to do with how he banged the other dude's wife, and now they put them on stage on stage. They're at the courthouse. They're in trial, and like one of the questions is like, so like, you know, the cop saying like, this guy's saying that he banged my wife. My kids are coming home, and they're teasing my kids because they don't know if he's their daddy or not. And the prosecutor goes like, but like he clearly isn't the daddy, right? To the officer, and the officer stopped, and he's like, I don't know if he's not the daddy for real. Like I don't even know. There's like,
and you know what? And you know what?
That's wild.
Hey, I can't tell you guys, No Maniacs, Super No Maniacs, how many times we do shows and after shows, hey, it's too long, and we do too. And here we are. I'm trying to close the show.
I know
who talking shit. Who running their goddamn?
Just look up the Afro Man trial.
They ain't ready to go. They
want to talk shit.
They want to talk shit, and they having a good time.
You know what?
Look at the chat. Look at Samo talking about no, man. It's not. Afro Man is a real one. He's hilarious. It's real life content that he flipped into content. You know, all the stuff that Kids is talking about ain't even the half of it with these cops on the stand. And the lawyers asking them questions, and they're like, yeah, I'm stupid, you know, basically. And so it's just the way these are real life. You know, this is not a video or made up. He took his security camera. He took the footage from court. This is hilarious cinema, but it's also a sad state of affairs for law enforcement in America and policing, if you want to look at it from that aspect. And it's another way of the black man being put under the force of the criminal justice system, if you wanted to look at that way. But the First Amendment, the court system, and all of that held because he was found not guilty and that they were all assholes. And so he flipped it all on him. It's a beautiful, you know, American story.
It is a beautiful American story. It truly is.
Take your beautiful American story and shut your ass up, man. It's time to close the show.
It's beautiful. And
and he might be a very talented individual. But the minute I seen the word Afro Man and any one of my algorithms, I heard him I got the fuck to home because the stereotype just bugged me. I ain't gonna lie to you. It bugged
me. And like I'm saying, normally, bro, I'd be with you, but I looked at my phone and my phone's blowing up with Afro Man left, right, and center. I'm like, I don't even follow this dude. I don't care. Why do I care? And then I start seeing some of the court footage. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Oh shit. And this story starts to unfold, and the deeper the story gets, the more intriguing it becomes. And like now I'm like, all right, now I don't even like this cat's music, but I'm gonna go and check out his music. And the music is fucking hilarious. It's so funny. It is so funny. And like when you're done, you'll probably never go back and listen to Afro Man again on your own.
In my life, I will never listen to that shit.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't even blame you. And for me,
don't close yourself off for things. Open your mind.
For me, it was hard for me to go down this road to begin with because I would have.
His name is just a pimp slap to me.
No, it's what he's done, and Trip, you nailed it. It is a compelling, it is a true American hero story. You kind of have to just give it 5 minutes of your time. Listen to a couple of tracks, get some good laughter out, and it's over. And it's done.
Versus Goliath.
You know why Trips loves him?
He fought the man and fucking won.
You know why Trips loves him? He will never ever grow another afro again in his life.
Oh no! Hey, just so you know, I like to keep my body as clean of hair as possible.
We talking about your
all
head.
over.
Nothing else.
Damn.
No afros, no muff, no bush.
I
Necessary.
got a sense of humor, man, but I can't stand the stereotype, Ben Williams.
But it's not the stereotype. It's a stereotype because he does have an afro. Yeah. I mean, so it's like saying Afro Man because it's very visual. But the stereotype of remember Sexual Chocolate and the Coming to America with the tight seersucker stuff on and the different colors, that's kind of his visual, kind of his vibe, that music lounge kind of performer. But he's on stage performing because he loves to perform. He's performing any place, every place, you know, with his original stuff. And then when the man tried to stick it to him, he was like, nah, I'm gonna flip this shit. And the story of him flipping is the American success story. And so what you're seeing, you're not seeing what the story is. You're just seeing it visually. You're seeing the movie poster with a dude with an afro and an American flag suit on, but you don't understand the struggle that he's fighting against in this court trial. And all of that, it is fucking hilarious.
I guess so, man. Hey, in your wet dreams, you can't even imagine no fully grown, fully developed afro, though, can you, Trip?
Well, yeah, I look at Roma Doomsday, and it's like, look at that. And it's like, that's a lot to be putting under a helmet, but that should keep your head nice and padded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you never have a concussion or what is it? CTE?
So yeah, but then you look at that Austin Booker afro, and you can tell he got that mulatto, more mulatto afro.
Oh, so he might get some CTE with that.
Hey, settle down.
I'm just saying it's a little bit less. You know what I mean? It's less dense.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right, man. How about this, man? It's time to get out of here. I want to do some Mr. Rogers kind of, you know, it's time to go kind of thing. But hey, man, we're gonna finish up this thing because we did not do everything that we marketed ourselves to do. We did not cover the entire draft class because I didn't expect everybody to have this much conversation about it. But I'm glad that we did. We broke it down the right way. All the players, we fed in a lot of the comments that were being had as we were breaking down each player, and it was good, man. More can be said about the next show we're going to do on Sunday. We'll finish it with the UDFAs, man. We're going to have a great show. And I just want to say thank you guys for being here. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button for all three channels, the Nomad Network, Kids of Canuck, and also Sports Chicago Style. Do that for us all, and we'll be greatly appreciated. And if you can kick in a few dollars for whatever you can do, man, that's always helpful because we struggle to maintain. And that's just the truth about this life we do as podcasters. That's the way it is. And so I just want to say thank you, especially to Dante Purify, who gave us that great super chat on the other day when we was finishing up the draft. Thank you so much. But I want to leave you guys with all this love in the world in these famous words. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.
Randy Walters is